turned 70 years old yesterday. We mentioned that.
Yes.
Posted a video of herself. Is that your story? Sorry.
Yeah, so she shared a video of herself going for a run on a beach in California alongside one of her dogs and her trainer. On Instagram, she said, celebrating 70 with a run on the beach. And then she hashtagged it, health is the best gift. And she said, thank you for all the birthday love. She also penned an essay published by Oprah Daily on Monday about how she decided to celebrate the milestone. She said, I had such pressure from all my friends to do something big, something special, to have a dinner, a party, or luncheon, or to go somewhere like a spa, a hike, a resort, or to meditate in Nepal. She said that she took her friend Whitley's advice.
Whitley?
It's Wintley, W-I-N-T-L-E-Y, and said, you're too blessed to stress. Savor the fragrances of your extraordinary life.
Huh?
And, it's a guy. He told her, it reminded me of the last line of Love After Love, one of my favorite poems by Derek Walcott. And the line is, sit, feast on your life, she wrote. And she said, so she's been going through old journals, photos, memory boxes, feasting, savoring, and marveling at the discovery, pain, joy, and wonder of 70 years of growing into the woman I am.
She announced her new food channel, Preston.
If your child said they had their salad tossed, would you know what they meant?
It's all salads.
It's all salads. Well, listen, she's living about as good a life as you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. And she went through a lot of terrible stuff at the beginning.
She was molested as a kid, and the odds were stacked against her.
Yep, she managed to turn it into the dream. So in a recent interview with the New York Times, Callista Flockhart reflected on the painful rumors spread in the late 1990s and early aughts that she was anorexic while starring on Ally McBeal. The actor told the outlet that she doesn't think the same thing would ever happen today. She said they call it body shaming now. And I haven't thought about it in a long time, but it's really, and it just made it sour.
Did you watch that show? I really enjoyed it.
A little bit of it.
Yeah,
I watched
enjoyed
some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought she was cute.
But I remember, that was the rumor that she was very, very thin. It was anorexic. I remember talking about it. And she's right. It's nobody's business, but except maybe family members or friends who are legitimately concerned. But she also shared how the comments affected her mental health. She said, I was very sleep deprived and I was depressed about it. I think that I did think it was going to ruin my career, she said, and I didn't think anybody would ever hire me again because they would just assume that I had anorexia. And
now she's married to Harrison Ford.
Yeah. Does she act anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's why she's doing this interview. Preston.
Okay.
She's in a new show called Feud, which actually looks really good. It's about all of these feuds that happen between people like Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. And I don't even know what it's FX. But I've seen a few trailers for it. It looks really great.
It's a Ryan Murphy series.
It is, yeah. Yeah, Diane Lane's in it, Naomi Watts.
So they're doing things like the Capotes versus I think that's the newest one. I forget the family they're warring against.
Yeah, Demi Moore, Molly Ringwald, Chloe Sevigny. There's a lot of big names in that. Okay, that looks interesting. All right. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Emily in Paris actor Ashley Park updated fans on her recovery after she was hospitalized earlier this month for critical septic shock.
Whoa!
That infected several of her organs. She said, I'm deeply moved and thankful for your beautiful messages of support and comfort, your personal stories of sepsis and hospitalization, and to truly every person who has reached out with love.
When you had your infection, that was sepsis related, was it not?
No, I had MRSA.
MRSA.
Yeah, and that was the sickest I think I've ever been.
Right.
I like this girl. She's really good. She was in two shows that I watch, Emily in Paris, and she's in Beef on Netflix, which I just finished.
And just you cleaned up at the Emmys.
Yeah, she's really good in both. She's funny. She's a good dramatic actress.
Did you like Beef?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, did you watch it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I know it's what's for dinner.
Casey, you started watching it and couldn't get into it?
I couldn't get into it. It was just, for me, it just kind of gave me anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I got really into it. I finished it quickly.
She said, I'm sorry for the delay in responses. Just wanted to update that I was medically cleared to fly after responding to treatments. And
fly?
Yeah, and now, well, not like, she's in an airplane.
Needs a plane. Yeah.
Not like step outside and just take off.
You got your powers back.
So she said, I'm now recovering and resting in Paris.
Thank you, doctor. I must go now.
Hold on to that music.
Okay.
We're going to need it again in a little bit. I wanted to update that I was medically cleared to fly after responding to treatments and am now recovering and resting in Paris, where I'm greeted with this incredible warm welcome from loved ones and my Emily in Paris fam, she said.
Okay.
So she added that she couldn't be more excited to join them all for season 4.
Can you read my mind?
She's gorgeous, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. And so it's a good thing she's doing better because she's got a lot on her plate.
With her ability to fly, do you think she might misuse that and take the Earth back before she got sick?
Wow. I would hate to think so, but
because we want to say in that.
Yeah. All right, Sophie Turner is moving on following her divorce from Joe Jonas. She shared a collection of photos from a ski trip of friends on Instagram on Monday, and one photo shows herself sitting next to her new beau, Peregrine Pearson, on a ski lift.
And did you read the tagline? I'm neck deep in D's.
No, I didn't read that. Another photo shows them standing next to each other and smiling on a snowy mountain.
He's a billionaire, is he not?
Don't know.
I believe he is fabulously wealthy.
Yeah, Peregrine Pearson. This is honestly the first I've heard of this guy. This comes after Jonas filed for divorce from Turner in September last year. They were married for 4 years, so she's moving on with this guy. I thought this was pretty sweet, Steve. Catherine O'Hara was doing an interview with People magazine, and she said that she had such a crush on her Home Alone co-star John Candy. She said he was just as lovely as you want him to be.
You know that scene where they're in the truck together and he's talking about the polka and everything? A lot of that's him improving.
Yeah. He passed away at 43 in 1994. She said, I wouldn't claim that he was interested in me that way, but he was always really lovely to me in Second City Theater. They were both part of Toronto's Second City comedy troupe as well as the SC TV show in the 70s and 80s. And she said he would always be willing to do an improv with me after the show. She said, you do a show, and then you do improvs after the show, and that's how you build the next show at Second City Theater, and he was always willing to try any idea.
If you think of the nuclear bomb of talent that Toronto SCTV crew was, and then those involved with the show, every one of them.
Martin Short, Eugene Levy, John Candy, Catherine O'Hara.
Joe Flaherty, Harold Ramis.
Just a massive group of people. And then you had, Harold Ramis. Or no, not Harold. Was it Harold Ramis?
Harold Ramis, yeah.
And it's just name after name.
Did you say Martin Short yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was so much fun. And I remember when SCTV hit, and we were like, what is this?
What is this?
This is Canadian? This is what, and they were doing these weird, just over-the-top characters. It was wonderful.
I mean, when you saw the first thing you would see, I think when I first became aware of it, the trailer was, at that time, it was the Flying Nun Squadron. Do you remember that? So they were dropping bombs.
I love it.
Really great stuff.
Every now and then I'll go back and watch Half-Wits.
Half-Wits. So,
this is a quiz show.
Yeah, if you love the SNL, Saturday Night Live Jeopardy parody, this is where it started.
Exactly.
It was much funnier.
Yep. According to the Hollywood Reporter, the Beanie Bubble actor, Geraldine Viswanathan, is set to replace the Bear actor, Ayo Adibri, in Marvel's Thunderbolts.
Well, this is a contractual obligation, right? I think the strike made the timing not work for her.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
This comes after it was reported that Louis Pullman will be replacing Stephen Ewan in the film as well. But other cast members include Florence Pugh, Sebastian Stan, David Harbour, Wyatt Russell, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Is Nard Tucklebuck still in the cast?
Nard Tucklebuck has been bumped up to a secondary player instead of So
this is his dream come true if you know anything about him.
After facing delays due to the union strikes, the film is now scheduled to be released in July of next year.
This is one of the ones I'm looking forward to because the Marvel universe has kind of sputtered recently. But this is Harrison Ford has replaced William Hurt as a Thunderbolt, and I believe he's the president. But basically, they're assembling all these anti-heroes.
Yeah.
And so they're bad guys, but you're rooting for them.
Okay. You also have this story. Bryan Cranston isn't quite ready for retirement, but he is ready to, quote, hit the pause button. He appeared on Monday's episode of the Today Show and clarified statements he made to GQ last year. He stated, I said to this interviewer, I feel like for the past 25 years I've been so busy, and I feel like I need a reset. I need to have more life experience to just, I said, so I want to hit the pause button. And there's a few things on my plate already that I have to complete before I move on, but I do want to change the dynamic, he said. So he's just going to slow down.
Yeah, and he wants to come back trying things he hasn't done before. I think this is the trajectory of any type of, any actor has the kind of catalog he has.
Right. Shannon Doherty shared an encouraging update on her battle with cancer during her most recent episode of her Let's Be Clear podcast. She spoke with her radiation oncologist, Dr. Amin Miradi, about the, quote, miracle treatment that she's been undergoing to combat stage 4 breast cancer. She said, I'm not going to say what it is. I'm on a new cancer infusion, and after 4 treatments, we didn't really see the difference, and everybody wanted me to switch, and I just kind of was like, well, we're going to keep going with this and see. But after the 6th or 7th treatment, we really saw it breaking down the blood-brain barrier. Do I call that a miracle? Yeah, for me, that happens to be a miracle right now, and that I sort of rolled the dice and said, let's keep going. She explained how the physician signed off on her continuing the treatments, which ended up yielding even more favorable results.
That's good.
With the hopeful news, the Heather star has been more determined than ever to beat the disease. She said, every day is a gift, and there are so many new things in the works that I think hope is always there. I think it's important, she stated. So
it's pretty amazing.
A bit of positive news. We'll
she
see.
Needs it.
We'll see if it goes somewhere. Let's see. Just a couple more quick things. Britney Spears. Her song, 2011 song, Selfish, rose to #1 on the U.S. iTunes chart over the weekend, topping a new song of the same name from her former boyfriend, Justin Timberlake. And she appears not to want to, she wants no part in a fan-fueled competition. So early on Monday, on a verified Instagram account, she posted a video clip of Timberlake recently performing his Selfish song in a classroom instrument segment on The Tonight Show. She said, I want to apologize for some of the things that I wrote about in my book. She captioned the post. If I offended any of the people I genuinely care about, I am deeply sorry. I also wanted to say that I am in love with Justin Timberlake's new song, Selfish. It is so good. And how come every time I see Justin and Jimmy together, I laugh so hard? She also wrote, P.S. Good. Sanctified is Wow, too, which is another song that he played on SNL over the weekend. Last year, she released her memoir, The Woman in Me, in which she wrote about the pain she experienced in her relationship with Timberlake when it came to an end. So she's kind of apologizing.
Yeah, well, that's gracious, too.
I don't know if this has anything to do with your story, Preston, but her Instagram account has recently been made private. So you have to. She has to approve you to follow her.
Yeah,
no.
She approved me last night.
Did she?
No. Just want to sound like a big guy.
Nick just put in a request for us.
Oh, good.
Listen, Steve, so we'll see if she...
If we could get her in the studio doing a knife dance, Kathy, that'd be so awesome.
I mean, that would be great.
All right, so a new trailer for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire has arrived, and it offers more glimpses of the original gang getting back in the action. It looks good.
It does.
It looks real good.
Did you see the one before this?
I did not.
Afterlife?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
It's available on one of the streaming platforms now.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one.
It's emotional too. I thought they did a great job with it.
I liked Ghostbusters. I don't have the fanaticism that a lot of people have for it.
I agree.
And so when that came out, I'm like, I don't really need to see it. But watching this trailer, I am now excited. So I'm now very much looking forward to seeing this.
I will tell you, like it has a wonderful heart to it. That the way they redid it, the Ivan Reitman. What is it? Ivan Reitman? Not Ivan Reitman. Who directed it? Jason Reitman.
The first one or the
one that's just this one and the
Jason. I thought it was Jason.
Yeah, right. Ivan is dead.
So after reintroducing us to the new stars of the franchise, played by McKenna Grace, Ben Wolfhard, Carrie Coon, and Paul Rudd, who all debuted in 2021's Ghostbusters Afterlife, the trailer shows us how the Ghostbusters of the 80s fit into the newest installment. Having briefly appeared in the finale of the first movie, all 3 of the surviving Ghostbusters seem to be joining the new squad for a mega Ghostbusters team up. So you got Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Ernie Hudson all back, this time to fend off an evil spirit that threatens to send New York into a second ice age. Murray's Peter Venkman is also excitedly welcomes another old friend in the fold, and that's Annie Potts' character, Janine Melnitz, who was the team's secretary in the first 2 movies. And she's suiting up. And other familiar faces from the 1984 film include miniaturized versions of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, as well as William Atherton's Walter Peck, the EPA inspector.
Yes.
The guy who always plays
A dick.
just
Die
one of
Hard.
the greatest jerks ever.
He was the dick reporter in the Die Hard movie.
And he is back in this.
And he, by the way, you see him interviewed. He's the nicest guy.
And also Real Genius.
Yes. Oh, my God. I just watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Dr.
what the hell is his
I
name?
forget his name.
I'll remember it in a little bit. But he is he's in this, so that's wonderful. And also Slimer is back too.
Yeah,
They showed Slimer towards the
Jerry
end.
Hathaway.
Hathaway, yeah, Dr. Hathaway. All right, and then the last story that I have for you, I think it's my last one. Warner Brothers' Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. I told you we'd need the music again.
Okay.
Is taking flight with the House of Dragon star Millie Alcock. She is going to play
Good for you.
Supergirl, and she will star as Kara Zor-El, the cousin of Superman. Alcock screen tested for DC Studios bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran last week, along with Meg Donnelly, who was also in contention for the role. The character is expected to appear in a DC studio project or two before her solo adventure, but it's unclear if that project will be Gunn's Superman Legacy, which begins filming this spring, or another DC movie or show.
I got to tell you, of all the things that didn't quite go right with the Flash movie, and there's some things that did go right. I thought Supergirl, I thought the girl who played Kara did a really good job.
She was awesome in that movie. So Alcock broke out as a younger version of Rhaenyra Targaryen in season 1 of HBO's House of the Dragon. Now she enters into the comic book realm. Gunn and Safran have said that this is not the Supergirl audiences are used to. She will stand in contrast to her hopeful cousin Superman. As Gunn told reporters last year, we will see the difference between Superman, who was sent to Earth and raised by loving parents from the time he was an infant, versus Supergirl, raised on a rock, a chip off of Krypton, and who watched everyone around her die and be killed in terrible ways for the first 14 years of her life, and then come to Earth. Woman of Tomorrow is part of Chapter 1 in DC's slate for Gunn and Safran.
I love the idea about how she's going to learn about her powers. The town that she lives in floods when she has her first period. And wow, powerful.
The slate also includes the Batman feature The Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
And a TV series starring Viola Davis as her Suicide Squad character, Amanda Waller.
There's a character that is, she's a horrible person, and yet she's got attributes that make you go, oh, okay. I guess she's a pretty good mom. But the Viola Davis is such a good actress that she makes you always second guess where that character is.
All right, we're ready for clips. The 5-part documentary series NASCAR Full Speed shows who the 16 competing drivers are as people and what makes them the best in the world at what they do. In this clip, current NASCAR champ Ryan Blaney, I don't know my world around NASCAR, talks about filming the show. Here we go.
It was like me and Chastain and Denny and a couple other guys. I just kind of, what's your week like? What are you doing? A lot of behind the scenes stuff. And, I thought it was a cool inside look at the sport, at track, away from track, the behind the scenes things. Obviously, it's great being the champion of that show. But yeah, just some of the behind the scenes stuff that they're going to put out there. I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Could you shut up? Yeah.
NASCAR Full Speed is streaming on Netflix. Here's our next clip. Argyle follows a spy novelist who is drawn into the real world of espionage when the plots of her books are a little too close to the activities of a sinister underground syndicate. In this clip, Bryan Cranston talks about the fast-paced film. Here we go.
It's kind of like a big trust exercise. You understand what your character wants, but you're not always sure where the twists are coming yourself. It's not an easy guidepost to guidepost. This leads to this, leads to that. It's like, oh, we just zipped over here and now we zipped over there. That's why it's got to be seen in the theater. Because if you miss a little piece here and there, you're going to be lost. You got to see it a second time.
Shut the up!
Argyle is in theaters this Friday, by the way.
I do really like this universe. I didn't finish watching the prequel one. Did you guys enjoy that one?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, this is a Kingsman universe.
Argyle is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
It's
that.
the same director.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in that realm?
It's in that realm, yeah.
Okay, and the prequel is what?
The Kingsman,
The beginning,
the original guard.
yeah,
or
I did
whatever
see
the hell
that.
they were
Yeah, I
called.
did see that.
I liked
All
it.
right.
It
Was
was
it
all
good?
right.
Okay.
It was pretty good. The first one's still the best in my personal opinion, but there were some moments. There were some weird moments with Rasputin's character in that movie.
Yes, yeah.
But all right. Well, I'm on board. I'll check this out for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely in that kinetic style.
All right. That's the entertainment report. And before we move on to anything else, have you been a lifelong smoker? You want to quit? And you're available to join us tomorrow morning live for a hypnosis session with Dr. Rosenberg. We'll take caller number 12 at 215-263-WMMR. You want to give it up for good? We want to help you out. All right, so the Great American Smokeout is happening. It's the Great American Vape and Smokeout, too.
Oh,
so
yes.
If vaping is included there, too. So 215-263-WMMR, 12th caller. Make sure that you are available all morning long tomorrow, and let's get rid of that nasty habit for you for good. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a moment. Don't forget Paul Mecurio joining us, Eli Roth on the program, a show announcement, lots of stuff. We'll be right back.
WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kathy. So we're going to pose a question to the floor.
Yes.
And see if people can help out because Casey's got a little bit of a conundrum. It's a little thing, but
In the broad scheme of things, but it's an important thing.
some help. You're having a gathering,
Yes.
get together.
We're having a grown-up gathering on Friday night. Now, when my wife initially posed the concept, this idea to me, it was posed as, "Hey, I want to have a game night at our house," and we've had game nights at other people's houses. Smaller gatherings where, we just kind of sit around and we've played like Mexican train dominoes or we've attempted to play pinocchles. Like it's small, but this is going to be like 14 people, at least like 7 couples.
What's your level of familiarity with these couples? Are they sort of just acquaintances?
I have known them all since my oldest was in kindergarten. So 13 years.
Would you
I know
be
these guys. Yeah.
comfortable enough as a game to do the human centipede?
Okay, so there are differing prudishnesses, so I would
All
be
right.
into it.
Better to stay away from it. You
Some
don't
people
want to
might
step
not
on
be.
toes
Yeah,
or have your head buried in someone's anus.
All right, so you're looking for an idea, a game that'll work for a fairly large group of people.
You know what I need right now? I need a Will Chapman in my life. Will Chapman is one of Preston's best friends here in Pennsylvania, and that guy knows how to entertain people.
Yeah.
A party for, a game,
For
right?
14 people.
For 14 people. It usually doesn't do that. You don't want to break up into separate subgroups.
No,
to
so we
play
can't.
games.
Yeah, we
Okay.
can't play Mexican.
What about
train.
bingo?
Dude? I've actually thought about that.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to be calling bingo in like a month or so at the Marion.
Is that lame for a
Wait, why are you playing games?
Well,
It's
that's
game
how
night.
it was game night. 'Cause
That was the invite. That was
the idea, but then the guest list just grew and grew, and everybody said yes. So we only have one couple of all the couples that we invited. We only have one couple who already had plans. So
Why don't you? What about Quizzo?
All right,
Do a version of Quizzo.
but am I hosting this?
Well,
You'd
you
have
would
to
have
host
to.
it.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. So I've had we New Year's Eve we always have a gathering, and Will Chapman, my buddy. And by the way, I have a suggestion per Will.
You do?
In the spirit of him, because you invoked his name. I will tell you what might work at this game. But I've hosted several game show type things that I put together, and the one downer is that as you as the host, you don't get
You
to
can't play?
Yes.
Can't play.
You have to come. First of all, you got to do all the work.
Yeah.
And then you have to host the game, and you don't get to play it because you set it up and you know all the answers.
Right.
So I've done.
And you buy the beer.
You buy all the beer.
Yeah.
No, but I've done Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune and all these other type of games, and I end up being the one that has to host it, and it kind of sucks if
Now,
you don't get to play. But.
I also want to make sure that we stick to the game night aspect of this whole evening.
So it doesn't run off the rails and you've done it, it's half-assed.
Yeah,
I get you.
But also there is a social anxiety aspect to it all. Like I feel way more comfortable engaged in a game with these people rather than relying just on small talk.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just
I hear you.
Yeah.
So I get it. And so these aren't, you know these people.
and I like
they were
these
nice
people. Yeah,
but after a while,
yeah.
I've felt party anxiety for years, and I got to the point where, for me, and not even talking about game night, I think I've said it on the air, as the thrower of the party and the host and the quote-unquote Gatsby of the party.
Yeah.
That's how I do it, because I'm like, I make sure everyone has a good time, and I don't have to be, because my worry about all of the other stuff makes it impossible for me to enjoy it.
But the small talk aspect right now, it might actually work because we all kind of like all the couples are in the same boat. All of our children are seniors in high school, so we can talk about. But like, there's a certain point where I'm like, I just don't feel smart enough to talk to you people. You know, like there are some really learned people that are going to be in my house.
Don't knock yourself.
All right. Well, 215-263 WMMR's number if you have a suggestion. So there's a game, Casey. I've never played it, but
Did I take notes, by the way?
Yeah, Will and his family has always told me it's a great game. It's called Fishbowl.
Fishbowl.
Okay.
You guys ever heard of Fishbowl?
No.
Smoke pot in a closed car.
No. Is that
No.
what you used to call a fishbowl?
Well, yeah, when you're in a closed
And
room
listen
that
to
doesn't.
fish?
I didn't know that was the name of it. Fishbowl. I like that.
It's a new one.
We can
Yeah,
play that
sure.
version of it. No, so and I pulled up Case because I've never played it, and I always forget what the rules are. But I pulled this up online. It's easy to find online.
Okay.
So it says Fishbowl is a fun and it's a guessing game designed for any group of all ages. You need at least 4 to play, but it gets more fun with the more players you have.
Okay.
Okay, one person hosts the game, and after everyone has joined in with, this is saying to do it virtually. Hang on.
No.
I'm finding a different link. Hang on a second.
Dude,
How to
if
play-
everybody could stay home, that would be great.
Yeah.
Start by getting 2 teams and selecting prompts from the bowl. You will then compete against each other for 3 fun-filled rounds to determine a winning team. So you need a fishbowl. So you divide people into equal teams. They separate themselves, and you try to have an equal number of players on each team. If there's an odd number, have someone sit out in one of the rounds.
Now, is it good to do like all boys? Kathy, I'm asking you, all boy team and an all girl team, or because
Couples?
you're gonna have to split up. Well, there's
No,
14 of us. It's 7 couples. You're gonna have to split somebody up.
No, I don't think you need
It
to
doesn't
do
matter.
that.
So you pass out 3 pieces of paper to each player. Each player gets to create 3 prompts for the game. Each piece of paper will have a separate prompt written on it. So here you go. You have each player write down 3 words or phrases. The words or phrases are the prompts. That's what they're called, prompts.
Okay.
And they should be a person, place, or thing, or feeling. Encourage players to choose words or phrases that are familiar and well known, as vague or obscure words will be difficult to use in the game. Keep the phrases short, no more than 2 or 3 words. For example, a player may write down words or phrases like Halloween or dance party or steak. It could be anything.
Okay.
All right, so 1 piece of paper should have 1 prompt, phrase, or word on them. So you collect the pieces and you put them in the bowl. All right, you put them in there. And then you have the rounds, okay? So it says somebody should keep score, blah, blah, blah.
How the hell with that?
Yeah.
So the bottom line is round 1, you have a player from Team A take a piece of paper from the bowl, and it's the first round is similar to the game Taboo or Catchphrase. The Team A will select a player to go first and choose a paper. The player should read the word or phrase to themselves and make sure they understand it. This is really getting into the business of this.
I'm so ADD.
Hang on.
I'm dialed in, bro.
You select a timer, and then it says make sure the timer goes off in 1 minute. So it's adding all these details. So have the player use hints to get their team members to guess the clues. So the first round is, dude, this is not explaining it very well.
I'm
like
wrong.
one of the rounds is like charades. One of the rounds is like
Pictionary?
Not Pictionary, but
Password?
No, you can't use. Never mind. Look it up yourself. Never mind.
All right.
I don't know. This is getting too detailed, and like I said, I don't know how to play the game, but it's supposed to be a lot of fun.
Is the idea, the end result, is sort of a collection of games?
Yes, it's 3 different games that are played, and you have to give up clues, and people have to figure it out.
I hate games.
you really?
Just serve alcohol, and they'll be good.
You don't like games?
No, I'm out.
You're out? Are you not coming over?
I'm not coming over.
All right, fine. I'm
No, I
rescinding
can't-
my invitation.
No,
There's some people who do. And I understand why, in Casey's case here, that it allows him to participate without the anxiousness. If I may, now that I'm thinking about it, Casey and Nick, maybe you can help me on this one. What is the game they played in Only Murders in the Building? where it's sort of a murder mystery, but it's at one
there's home versions of murder mystery games.
But the one where you like open up one person, the killer opens up their eyes. How does that go? Do you know how that game goes?
Well, let's not get into the weeds on how to play each one of these games because that's going to be a way too complicated. But there are home versions of murder mystery games that are fun. You can download a lot of them offline. From a bunch of different websites. Some people are suggesting, Casey, the home version of Yes or No. You could always play that.
Oh, we have. I snagged a couple of home versions.
Also on Apple TV, you can get a lot of different trivia games. So if you want to play something like Jeopardy style trivia games at home, there are plenty of apps for doing that.
Preston introduced us to Jackbox. Have you guys played Jackbox at all yet?
I did it last night. I got my special box. Don't open that.
No, that's a fun one that everybody kind of play. You don't need an app. You would think that you would need an app on your phone, but it's actually you do play on your phone, but you play through a website,
right?
And that's a lot of fun. So we could do
that's
that.
That's a group game.
And if you have it on Apple TV, if you have the presentation of the game board right up there, you're done. You can leave.
Yep.
I'll be back.
I'm going home.
I'll be back in an hour and a half. I'm going to be fish bowling in the car.
I'm going to go to Susan. Hi, Susan. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy day to you.
Happy day, Susan.
May
What's
this be
up?
like many other days.
Yes, exactly. So I play a wonderful game called Timeline. And what it is you get, each player gets 4 cards. And they have either like an invention or something happening in history, or it could be movie stars. And you basically put them in order to a timeline from the beginning of time to today. And it's it sounds so simple, but it's a great game that you can have as many people as you want.
Okay. As many people. That's the key. He's good. Casey, you said you're going to have 14 people.
Exactly. So you can have as many people. If you look online, I'm sure Amazon can ship it to you today. But I have like 6, 7 different series of Timeline, and it's a go-to game to play.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And then there's another game you could do is left, right, and center.
Yeah,
that's always a good. You put money into that game.
What is left, right, and center?
It's just a money game. There's 3 die, and you roll them, and if the person rolls a die that says left, the person to the left puts $1 into the
okay.
No, the person to the left you have to give them the $1. If you have a center, everybody puts the money into the center. And whoever has the money at the end or has one token left gets to keep all the money in the center.
Okay, to Kathy, to your point, I am so horrible with these things because my attention span is so dramatically, ridiculously short that my eyes start to glaze over. So, like the simplest game, the game that I enjoyed as a kid, probably the dumbest game in the world, War with the cards.
Mm-hmm.
Or with baseball cards. They're very.
I never did the baseball card game.
Yeah.
But
that's how I lost most of my baseball cards because I suck at games.
How do you play the baseball card?
You're flipping. The other guy has his cards, and you're flipping over. And I think when the team colors match, that's the way we'd play it.
Okay.
And if your card is the color on top that matches, you get all the cards below.
I'm going to go next to Bill. Actually, he's got a game here. Hi, Bill. Good morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning to see you, Bill. What's up, man?
So, Casey, there's a game called Telestrations. It's like Pictionary, but whisper down the lane. And you can buy it for like 6 people, 8 people, 12 people, 16 people. And basically, it's a dry erase board. You pick a word, say the word Superman. You write down Superman. You pass the board to the next person. The person's supposed to draw Superman. They might draw Superman with glasses trying to do Clark Kent. They pass the picture to the next person. The person looks at the picture and tries to determine what the picture is. And they might look at it and go, oh, this guy's got glasses. This is Preston.
Right.
And they flip it over. They write Preston down. They hand it to the next person. The next person looks at Preston and draws Preston. Whatever Preston looks like, then the next person gets it. By the time it all comes all the way around, that picture is changed to where it's not the original word or it is the original word.
Okay.
We play with kids. We play with adults. We played with 15, 16 people. It's a fun game. There's no score.
But that's what I was going to ask, Bill. Do you determine a winner, or is it just to have some fun?
It's just to have some fun.
Okay.
It's a fun,
It's like the telephone game. It's like whisper down the lane.
Exactly what it is.
But with drawing,
Pictionary.
Yeah. And it's an awesome game. Just look it up. It's a great game. I play it like 3-4 times a year with my kids. and it's fantastic.
I love that. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. We have a game around here that's like that. It's like Whisper Down the Lane. It's when you have an idea for like a promotion or a client idea, and you tell one person, a salesperson, and then it goes to the promotions department, then it goes back to another salesperson, and then it goes to the manager, and eventually when it comes back to you and you're actually going to do that thing, it's completely changed from your original idea.
They loved your idea.
And then they morphed it into something totally different.
So, Case, you said these are mostly, so they wouldn't be the human centipede thing because some are a little conventional. So is swinging out of...
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. But I don't know.
I'm going to go to Chris. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Hey, you guys rock.
Yes, what's up, Chris?
So I have a perfect game for you guys. It's a good icebreaker for a party of that size. It's called Battle of the Sexes. It's a game where the guys would ask girls guy-related questions, and the girls ask guys girl-related questions, like makeup and stuff like that. And it has a trophy system on a board where, like, the trophy will start in the middle, and every question, either the girls or the guys get right, you pull the trophy closer to you. Whoever wins 3 trophies wins the game.
Okay, so but obviously...
Is this out of a box? Do you buy this at a store somewhere?
Yeah, I believe you can get it either at Walmart or you can get it on Amazon.
Okay, so yeah, it would be help if the questions are sort of written ahead of it. Though to Nick's point, even online or even on Apple TV, you're going to find a lot of these games ready to go.
Yeah, so I mean, and I have, if I could just get something that is all self-contained in a box like that.
Then the last round is just one word, but at this point you're familiar with the clues because you've done 2 rounds. And so you're okay with one word.
So
that's password.
Taboo, charade, and password. Yeah, I'd asked, does it have a password element to it?
And sometimes we do another round at the end where we just make a noise, and it's really silly.
All right, and then you're trying to give a clue as to what is written down on the sheet of paper. And do you also know who wrote it down, or does that matter?
Sometimes you can tell just if it's something that's specific to that person, but you don't write your name or anything.
All right. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. But Case, it's like you don't need to order a box or anything. You just do it with stuff you have around the house.
I already got a fishbowl. I got paper. We can do that.
Does this appeal to you? Do you think you found some potential candidates for game night?
Absolutely.
Or would you ever consider playing multiple games?
Well, yeah. I think
Find the Stick.
Find the Stick. I'd be good at that one. No, I think multiple games because you might start playing and people are like not into it, or I don't know, like the fish. I don't know how long would the fishbowl game take. You know, if we're having people over for 3 or 4 hours.
Not really sure.
Yeah. Christmas, I bought Claire a number of classic board games like like Mousetrap.
Yeah,
those are like 4 or 5 people, and you would not be able to do 14 if you broke them up into small groups. But again, that's counterproductive.
You bartered these games to not play with you.
Oh yeah, if I ever see, I will. I have never done it, but I will hit you. No, no. You know what? The funny thing was is that those are the kind of games I played with the game pieces and never played the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Mousetrap, I wanted to make them. There used to be one. I don't remember if you remember this, Preston, but it was from Matchbox. Actually, made it, and there were ball bearings, and they would go up like a lift, a little ball bearing lift, conveyor belt style, and then they would go down on drums, they'd bounce along. Do you remember this game?
No. What was the point of the game?
To get me something to play
with,
and not have to play the game.
Okay.
But it was the game, and that was one of those. I love this game.
Okay.
But because it's my level of.
What are your feelings on what is it? Cards Against Humanity?
People love that game.
Yeah.
People love it.
It's a fun game.
All right.
It can be.
It's just naughty. Is that
well,
really?
No, not really. That's like an all-in though. Like everybody's like at the same table. You're all playing. You all have to be paying attention.
Okay.
If somebody gets up to go to use the restroom, they're like out for the round.
Yeah, Marissa, you made a face.
I love it. It's just very vulgar.
Yeah,
so I don't
extremely
know
vulgar, yeah.
how friendly you are with this group
I
of
can
friends.
see that with the church
parents.
group.
It's not only vulgar. It's like it gets borderline inappropriate and uncomfortable and
Cards
really
of Humanity?
Yeah.
I played and it wasn't like super vulgar.
Maybe you played a little kids version
Were you
of it. or
playing
something
apples
like that.
apples?
No, it was regular. It was.
There are different versions.
I mean, there's
of it.
like certain things, but I wasn't like I played with like a group of people I wasn't all that close with. I didn't feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
There was another, and I went to a game night at another friend's house where I feel like we played. It wasn't Cards Against Humanity, but it was all naughty, and you could either draw it act it, or
Lick it.
or sculpt
Lick
it, or
it,
lick
suck it.
Does that make any sense to you guys?
Does not.
Okay.
But then I'm the wrong guy.
That's cranium?
I feel like it was cranium, but it was
A different
like
version?
Is there a naughty version of
Speculum.
There's a naughty version of every
Speculum.
game
I
out
guess you're
there.
right.
There's kids' versions of the Cards Against Humanity. But Cranium has those aspects, Casey. It's like there's Pictionary, there's sculpting, there's
Right.
trivia.
I'm gonna look this up.
I do like Pictionary. I think that's a fun game. And standard Trivial Pursuit is always good.
Case, there's one I've been seeing recently on Instagram, and it's called Hues and Cues, and it's a board, and it has like a 300 colors on it. It's like the rainbow, and then you give a clue, and people have to guess and put their piece down on like what color they think it is.
Oh.
So if you say flamingo, you have to guess which color you think flamingo is.
Like pink?
And then, but there's like 80 pinks.
Okay.
So you have to kind of guess where it
Okay.
is. And then there's like a little square that you put down, and it's like somewhere in this region. And any of the pieces that are in that like 10 square region win the point.
Hues and Clues. This is from the maker of Studs with Puds.
That's the naughty
Yeah.
version.
Thank you, Marissa. Hang on a second here. I want to go to, let's see, Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Melissa?
I was calling because we actually, when we get together with my family for Christmas or other things, there's about 12 to 14 people, and we play a game called Code Names.
I love Code
What
Names.
is Code
One of our
Names?
absolute
It's so
favorite games.
fun. And if you know a lot of people, it sounds like Casey knows these couples really well. Then we do boys against the girls, and you have 25 cards, and they are not related to each other, and but you have to get your team to say those cards in the most cards in a short amount of time, and if you get the bomb, then you lose.
Yeah, I haven't played that with a big group of people, by the way, Melissa. Thank you for the call. So there's all these words out. There's like 25 words out, and you have to try to give an idea. You have to give a one-word clue, but you try to link several different things together. So if you see like 4 cards there that might have something in common, and they happen to be the cards that you are supposed to pick specific ones that you're trying to clue to the other person, and you would say like, guitar 4, meaning that the word guitar relates to 4 words that are out on the table, and then they have to identify them. It is a blast.
Wow, okay.
It is a great game.
So you see guitar and 4, and then so they're looking for things that are tangential to guitar.
Yeah, there might be something like strum, or there might be, it could be instrument, or a variety of different words. But you have to some of them you have to really stretch.
Yeah.
And think outside the box.
Is this a box game that I
It
get
is,
it? Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
but
writing all these down,
But
by
I've
the
never
way.
played that with a bunch of people. We usually play with less than 6 people.
Has anyone suggested Heads Up yet?
No.
Heads Up is a great game that you can play that on your phone. It's an app that you can download. I'm pretty sure it's free. And basically, it's you hold up your phone to your forehead. It says, radio announcer, and then you have to, guess what is on the phone. You don't get to see it. Other people do.
That is a fun game.
I think that came from Ellen used to do it on her
Yes.
show.
Yeah, she made it really popular.
She made it really popular. It is that's like one of the games that I will play. That it is free, Nick, and then you can buy, because if you start to go through, round after round, it'll wrap back around so you can buy other categories. But yeah, that's pretty fun. That's an easy one.
Similar to the game they play in Inglourious Bastards in the basement pub.
Exact same game.
Or Heads
Except
Up.
They didn't have cell phones in World War II.
Yeah, they did not.
Oh, they weren't allowed to.
Oh,
they
Hitler
weren't
had
allowed.
it. They were
Yeah.
working on him.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Stupid
No idea.
Nazis.
All right, hang on. Here's another game. We just got this game. Martin's online. Hey, Martin, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, all right, so you wanted to suggest something for a group atmosphere for Casey to play.
Yeah, it's a game called Blank Slate.
I
It
love
is a
that
board
game.
You can buy that game, and it's actually, I think it's becoming a TV show. It's become that popular.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, I was just doing commercials for it on Game Show Network.
Oh.
Yeah, it's, with internationally renowned and loved Mario Lopez as your host, and some of our favorite comedians as guests.
The best thing about that game, Martin, is it's stupid easy to play.
It's exactly that. Exactly. And you just try and match answers with other players, and some of the answers are great. And it's kind of cool because depending on your age, like I play with kids, and of course they go in one direction with their answers. I'm an older mate, and you know what? I go my way with my answers.
Martin, you're invited to my house, by the way. I just like the way you talk.
Yeah. It actually sounds like Robert Irvine.
Tell me when.
Okay, so this seems pretty simple. You said Preston, it's stupid easy.
So they give you a card. Thank you, by the way, Martin. They give you a card, and it says a word and then a blank next to it. You have to put down what you think will be in the fill in the blank. And then everybody writes that down on a dry erase board, and then you hold it up. Now, the thing is, you think you're going to try to match with everybody if you can. That's not the case. If you do match with 2 or more people, you get 1 point. But if you match with only one other person, you get 3 points.
Oh, okay.
So you're trying to come up with not necessarily the obvious one.
And everyone's going in that direction.
But one that's fairly unique but not too obscure that maybe one other person will get. And that's the game. That's it. It is the rules. That's one thing with a group atmosphere, unlike me trying to explain Fishbowl. You want to keep the instructions as simple as possible.
Oh, yeah.
And that game is very, very easy. Now, it comes, I think 8 players are able to play, but you could easily add more. You could buy 2 of them, or you can use all you need is a pencil and something to write down.
Or just forbid the wives from playing.
Yeah, you can just forbid the ladies.
Ladies in the kitchen, please.
Go make us some Tostinos.
Tostinos, it's the party snack.
Absolutely.
All right, hang on. So we're talking about games for a gathering. Casey needs a little bit of help here. We're going to go to Nancy. Hi there, Nancy.
Hey, bitches.
Hey, what? What's up, Nance?
We play a game with multiple people. Sometimes we had up to like 18 people, and it's called Horses.
Okay.
Horses.
You can get it at Amazon, and it's a board with with horses, 11 horses on it, and dice and playing cards. You take the aces and the kings out, and you deal everybody the cards until they're completely gone. Then you roll the dice. The first roll is for 25 cents, and that one horse goes back to whatever numbers roll, like it's a 7. You put the horse on 7, and then you go for the next 4 horses. So the second one would be 50-cent horse, 75-cent horse, and a $1 horse.
Okay.
After that, the game starts. So that would be the 5th player would start the game. You roll the dice, and if it's a 6, you can move 6 horse goes into the race. If it was a 7, then the 7 horse is a 25-cent horse, and you put 25 cents in the bucket. And it goes on until.
By the way, Steve is following every bit of this, Nancy.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
He's actually recite word for word.
He's mad at you now.
I'm just looking up your address on Google, and I'm coming over to blow up your. No. Actually,
Thank you, Nancy.
I was going towards the light.
It could be fun, but it's a little involved.
It's not. Once you start playing, it's not involved.
That is the thing. No, you're right. Some of these games, once you play, we always go, like when we're teaching people a card game.
Yeah.
We say, let's play open hand. Let's play face up. Everybody lay your cards on the table. We'll play around that way. And then once you get to the second, by the time you get to the third round, everybody's got it.
Do you know the funny thing is that I'll teach myself very meticulous things, and I'll spend time because I'm very much into it. If I were to play a game once and enjoy it, even no matter how complex the rules, I would invest the time in it. And I'm just kind of a dick when it comes to, and I just dismiss it. But this is cool because there's little horses.
Yeah.
And I can play with those horses.
Yeah, this
I can make one Barbaro.
This is important to me just so I don't have to engage in like prolonged conversation.
Well, Casey, also you're a couple players short because this only has 12 horses.
And by the way, Jim and Edward and Nick and whoever else is coming over, I love you guys, and this is not a because I know people are probably listening right now. This is not an indictment of you as a person.
Well, that son of a bitch. No, you want to do right by them. You want to give them a good time. That's very understandable.
Do you know what I hate more than like games like this and having to like plan all of this when the like family like softball games or volleyball games like when you're on vacation? I'm gonna sit down and have a margarita. You guys go ahead. You play these dumb games. I just want to sit here. Leave me alone.
I think everyone admits. So for me, the worst part is let's get a picture with like 200 family members.
Oh, see, I'll coordinate that. I'll coordinate the 200
Where's
person
Eddie?
picture.
Eddie! Make sure everybody's wearing the same colors.
Everyone's in white and jeans. No shoes on, no socks. I'll coordinate that. But if you're going to play volleyball or softball or some other dumb game, I'm out.
God. You're the activity queen.
I don't want to be involved in the family game.
What if the game
She's
is...
got drinking to do.
I have margaritas to make.
But like, all right, this is sort of the equivalent of like making succulents together, except I don't want to make succulents.
Okay, so maybe
actually, that's a good point.
No, here maybe it's like the team aspect of it. Like when I'm making I'm making my own. You can take as long as you want to do yours. I'll take as long as I want to do mine.
That's it.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, maybe so.
The timed, the expectation of people you're with, it makes it less enjoyable for you.
Well, and I'm just like the times when we're doing this,
And they
we're all
keep drinking
together.
your margaritas.
Like I just want. I would rather sit and have a conversation with you than go play volleyball.
Casey's saying that there's
away
a
from me.
sort of awkwardness that comes with a large group of people.
Kathy, my favorite phrase of yours, though, is "This is stupid."
Yeah. Kathy, let me ask you a question,
Okay.
and I want you to be honest.
All right.
Do you want to sit and have a conversation with me?
Jesus, no.
Exactly.
No, I'm
right?
kidding.
Let's play.
So,
No,
like-
but if you invited me over to your house,
Yeah.
I would.
I wouldn't come.
I know. No,
I don't want to come. I just want to be invited. That's it.
no, I understand what you were saying. Like it's basically for you guys, so you don't have to like entertain. The entertainment is going to be the game. I do understand that. But if I'm invited to somebody's house, I'm fine to go. If I reply yes, I'm coming over to
gonna
like
be-
hang out, catch up, see what everybody's up to.
And you'll be into it.
And I'll
Yeah.
be into it. As long as you have alcohol, I will be there.
All right.
Casey, a lot of people on the text board are suggesting the game that looks like fun. It's a dice-based game.
We
called
talked
left,
about this.
Left, center, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to make sure that was on your list. And then what about categories?
So you can do categories, but there's only. Well, I mean, no. I guess you would just have to get more boards.
Or you could have a team.
Not boards, sheets.
Right.
Because they only provide you with, I think, like 4 or 6 of them. But no, you could definitely do more than that.
Hang on, let me go to one more call. We have to take a break here in just a second, but I want to go to Jess here. Hi, Jess. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, what's up, Jess?
I'm calling because my family, I have a huge extended family, and every time we go over, we play games. And this is the one we just come back to every single time. Heads up, it gets very competitive, and if you have competitive people, then feelings can get hurt.
It can get ugly.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So it's called Spoons, and it's kind of like if musical chairs was a card game.
Okay.
So you all sit around in a circle, and all you need is a deck of cards and spoons. If you have as many people as you're talking about, you just combine more than one deck of cards. We've done like 3 decks of cards before. And then you deal all the cards out. You deal 4 to each person. And the point is you're trying to get 4 of a kind. So either 4 aces, 4 fours, something like that. And then the rest of someone starts. Someone's the person that picks up the cards. Once the game starts, there's no turn taking. It just goes. So I pick up a card. I look at it. If I need it, if it matches one of mine, I put it in, but I have to discard. You can only have 4 cards in your hand at a time.
Right.
So if I discard it, I pass it to the next person, and then I pick up a new card. And you just go. And it's going around in a circle. Once somebody gets 4 of a kind, you have, sorry, I forgot to set this up at the beginning. You have spoons set up like chairs. You know how in musical chairs there's one less chair than people?
Yes.
Right.
So there's spoons laying in the middle of the table, and there's one less spoon than people. And as soon as you get 4 of a kind, you take a spoon. As soon as someone sees you take a spoon, it becomes like the music turning
By the way,
off
that's
for
Steve's heartbeat, if you didn't know. Continue on, please.
I was making a joke. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm trying to follow the game. Go ahead, Jess.
No, it's okay. But so once someone takes a spoon, it becomes like the music turning off in musical chairs, and everybody has to get a spoon. And if you don't get a spoon, you're out.
So everybody's got to reach in and grab immediately.
Yes.
Okay. And then and so that's why it can get heated, because some people start fighting over a spoon.
You going to play this game, you think?
Literally, we sometimes have people like diving over tables.
Oh my God.
So
I cannot do that.
You going to play this game, Preston, you think?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not me.
But I've also
We'll
played
just
it
let
in
your
our
heart beat.
high school with our. I'm an interpreter at a high school, so I've also played it with our high school students in a classroom setting, and it's been fine that way too. So you can tone it down. It's just like my family is really extra. So
Okay. All right. I like that. And then at some point, there's one spoon left, and people are going to throw things at each other to get to it. Okay.
I think if I had 14
Thank you,
people
Jess.
playing this, that would be so That would be.
It would take a long time.
It would get hairy too, I think, especially in the beginning. If you have 14 people jumping for 13 spoons or whatever. Now, Dan on line 5 wants to know why I haven't brought up Connect 4. That's a one-on-one game.
No way you're going to get 14 people playing Connect 4.
I mean, you'd have to do like a tournament.
But my friend Edward, who is coming, he's from Ireland. Dude, he was a champion checkers player in Ireland, and he was telling me about this, and so I decided that I'm going to play him in checkers because it's a simple game. That dude just mopped the floor with me. I couldn't believe. I was like, okay, there's actually strategy here, and I walked into every single trap that he set for me.
And you're a solid strategy player.
I
too.
thought I was. I thought I was, but yeah. So maybe I could set up a checkers tournament with Edward.
Well, I think you got some good basic ideas.
I do.
To start with, you got plenty to choose from.
Yeah.
So now you just got to research and find out which one makes sense, or grab like 2 of them and have them ready to go.
Like 2 or 3 of them, I think.
All right.
And then that way I don't have to talk to anybody.
Nice. All right. Well, we got some options there. Thank you very much for sharing, dear friends. We do need to take a break because we have a lot of stuff on our plate today. We've got Paul Mecurio stopping by. We have Eli Roth on the show. We've got invites for the Great American Smokeout, which is tomorrow morning. So we'll do that in a little while. We got Galentine's Day to get people on board for, which we have at a party coming up. And we have an announcement of a show, which we'll get to around 10 o'clock. But the Beat File is up next, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. Steve, you got a chart out you wanted to mention.
Yes, thank you. Well, over the past couple of weeks, a lot's been going on at home and in my life in general. Stuff has been crazy, and I'll talk about that more later on in the week. But we've had this wonderful person staying at the house who has been helping take care of this dog that we just adopted. Best pet sitter I've ever encountered in my life, and we've obviously are connected to all sorts of pet organizations. Thorough. Her name happens to be Marissa as well, just like our Marissa. She gets everything done and very comprehensive. Her name is Marissa Nolan. She's a big fan of the show, and she is, again, if you're interested in a top-level pet sitter who's going to make sure that your pet is absolutely taken care of, just contact me, and I'll get you the information. So this is to say thank you, Marissa, here.
And then another quick shout out. This is, hey, everybody, my name is Reagan. I'm a longtime listener, and every morning while driving my daughter Raylyn to school, we'll listen to you guys. Even when it's not morning, she'll ask me to put you guys on. And January 30th, it's Raylyn's 10th birthday. And I know she'd be ecstatic if y'all could give her a birthday shout out. I missed the time frame. It says she's usually in the car between 7 and 7:45. So, Mom, maybe you can play this back for her. This is from, like I said, Reagan. So he said, if you can make her birthday special, I'd be grateful. Thank you so much. Rock on. So here's a chart. And then Nick.
Preston, I just got one too. Sorry to pile on, but email from a guy named Michael Wright, and he turns 50 today. So he's a huge fan, as well as his wife, Robin. So happy birthday, Michael Wright, for your 50th.
And let's do the B file.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, a few stories to share with you. We're going to start with this. A man was arrested after taking off with a car from a dealership, and it was in Lycoming County on Friday afternoon, and he left a trail of skid marks and broken glass. So here's what happened. It was at the BMW of Williamsport. Brian Colgus came into the Chioka BMW to shop for a car, but it all ended in a high-speed chase. There were tire marks inside the dealership.
Oh, those kind of skid marks.
Yeah, where the suspect took off. So authorities say Colgus was sitting in one of the showroom cars when employees went to do paperwork and heard the car start up. And that's when he drove a black BMW through the showroom window, took off down to I-180 East, and he struck several vehicles along the way.
So there have been a number of stories where this has happened. Don't you think they would do something to disable the vehicles in a showroom?
I would think so. Muncie Township and state troopers were all involved in the high-speed chase. Colgus drove about 10 miles away before crashing the vehicle. State police then arrested him after that. But, I mean, dude just drove right through the showroom window.
I'm going to go talk to the manager now. Don't go stealing any cars now.
All right, here's a story out of the UK. A supply teacher who was caught committing a sex act in a public ladies' bathroom while wearing only a bra has been banned from the classroom for life.
Was the bra fitted correctly? Because so often people make mistakes.
That's a good question. Maybe we can take care of that for him, get a fitting. Stephen Ballantyne was spotted by a mother and her 5-year-old daughter in an unlocked bathroom at a garage. He had apparently, he was charged with outraging public decency and was fired by North Cumberland County.
For what?
Sentenced to 5 months in prison, suspended for 2 years in order to undertake 200 hours of community service. And he's now been barred from teaching indefinitely. The panel noted that the behavior involved in committing the offense would have had an impact on the safety and or security of the students or members of the public. At his sentence, he was also asked to sign the sex offenders register. The panel said that Ballantyne, who did not attend the hearing, was not represented and had shown, quote, little regret or remorse. I think he was even proud of what he did.
Well, there's so many things that you look forward to in life, and that's clearly one for him.
All right, so we've had a lot of decapitated bodies lately in the story, in the Bizarre File stories, and it continues. A 45-year-old woman in New York has been arrested after police performed a wellness check on her Brooklyn apartment. Allegedly discovered a dismembered human body, including a severed head inside of a freezer.
Yeah, that's usually where they are.
That had been taped shut. Heather Steins, who lives in the apartment, was taken into custody on unrelated charges as authorities wait to obtain a search warrant for the home. The victim has since been identified as Kausheen Gelzer, a 40-year-old man who had previously been arrested multiple times. The case is currently being treated as a homicide. Officers responded to a request for the wellness check at the apartment. A tipster reportedly contacted Crime Stoppers and informed police someone was keeping a body inside a refrigerator in the apartment.
How do you just become aware of that?
Upon arriving at the scene, Steins let the officers into the apartment, but reportedly started acting more aggressively once the taped-up freezer drew the attention of police.
Oh, boy.
Steins reportedly became more combative when police began examining the appliance, leading to her being detained and escorted out of the residence. She was later found to have had several outstanding warrants for petty larceny. Because she complained of illness, she was taken to the hospital. Inside the freezer, police allegedly found multiple black garbage bags containing dismembered human body parts.
Wow.
The chief detective, Joseph Kenny, said it appeared as if all the remains belonged to the same person. He said, we have a head, we have some limbs. As of right now, it seems like we have the whole body.
We have quite a pretty good body going here.
Police were able to identify the body as Glazer due to his distinctive tattoos, which authorities had on file from his previous arrest. While Stein was undergoing a psychiatric evaluation, police reportedly showed her a photo of Gelzer as she confirmed that he was the dismembered body in the freezer.
And what kind of freezer was this again? Was this one of those top opening freezers?
It didn't say.
My money is on that.
I'm guessing so. She reportedly claimed that her husband, who is currently serving time in Virginia in prison for unrelated charges, killed Gelzer in September and put the remains in the freezer. They sound like a lovely couple.
He found Mrs. Right.
Yeah, so they said they have to do an exam on the body, but they have to wait for the body parts to thaw out first.
Oh, my
yeah. A food bank, listen to this, in the United Kingdom urged people to be a bit more careful when donating items after it received a jar of cheesy sauce that had expired 25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Warehouse volunteers this week.
Expired is a loose term.
Spotted the little gray bottle of Uncle Ben's gratin cheese and onion sauce for potatoes that had been donated. A curious worker checked the label and found that it had expired on June 9th, 1998. Jonathan Conlon, the food supply manager, said to the BBC that they made sure the quarter-century-old sauce wouldn't end up in somebody's dinner. He said, we get things that are a couple of years out of date, and occasionally at harvest time, for example, we get things that people have cleared out from the back of the cupboards. He said, so it's not unusual to get the odd donation that's out of date, maybe a year or two, but this is a record.
Medically speaking,
yeah,
since cheese ages, right? Would that present a problem?
I think it might. That's a good question,
Because
Steve.
you age cheese, of course.
Yeah.
But at some point, cheese will grow mold on it if you're not careful, so I don't know.
This is not refrigerated either, right?
Yeah. He said, thank you for donating. We rely on donations, but if people can donate things that they would like to receive themselves, that's probably the best rule of thumb.
On a similar note, did you see a story about, I think it was a woman who had her wedding cake in her freezer for like 40 years? and just came across it.
Did they?
And
Did she eat a bit?
The story was that she was going to eat it. I haven't seen a follow up on it just yet.
That's a common practice.
Yes.
Yeah, you eat
do
it
you have
on
any
the-
chunk of
No.
Yeah, we had, and then I don't know what happened.
You're supposed to eat it on your first anniversary.
Yes.
And we
Oh,
did
we
do
ate,
that.
We ate the head.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
We forgot.
saved
We
that.
got things confused.
But some people will hang on to it for a long, long, long time. But yeah, that happens. All right, and there you go. That's all I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right, I would like to give away to a smoker an opportunity to give it up for good. We have the Great American Smokeout tomorrow morning. Dr. Rosenpenis himself
Yes.
will be here
Miracle
to
worker.
conduct the hypnosis, the group hypnosis event. And you can be on board it if you are a longtime smoker and you want to quit the habit and you are
fries
available to join us tomorrow morning. Be caller number 7 at 215-263 WMMR right now, and we will save a spot for you. Let's get rid of that. It's a Great American Smokeout. We're going to take a break. Paul Mecurio is going to be joining us when we return. Stay with us.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you, Kath. Always great to have our next guest in the studio. He is performing at the Sellersville Theater on Friday night for a very unique show that you can be a part of. It's called Permission to Speak, and we welcome Paul Mecurio to our studio. Good morning.
Nice to see you guys again. Thanks for having me.
No problem, man.
Always fun.
As Steve was saying off air, this is a show that we had talked to you about before.
Yeah. Back in October, yeah.
Yeah, and this is
This is the one we want to see. No.
Yeah. Directly involves the audience. They get directly involved with the show.
Yeah, basically born out of my stand-up. I like talking to the audiences, and I was getting, like, you asked that second and third question. You know, if you try to go for the funny off the first question, you're just doing, like, a surface joke about somebody's hat or glasses or whatever. But, like, if you go, wait, what explain that again? I'll explain a little more. You get these, like, incredible stories, and it just becomes like this joyride. And so some producers saw me doing it in New York, and they're like, were those people planned? So I'm like, no. How does it always work out? I'm like, I think people have a story.
Yeah.
And they want to tell it. I think people like, especially now today where there's all this like, political correctness and blah, 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 and what you can and can't say. So we turned it into a show, and Frank Oz is directing it.
Frank Oz.
Yeah. Wow.
Frank friggin' Oz.
Yeah, I know.
We're so thrilled for you that this occurred this way, because the guy's just,
he's
a
incredible.
genius.
Yeah, he needed a job. And, I'm like, I wanted to help the guy out.
I can help you with those voices.
It's like, by the way, it's intimidating. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Created the Muppets, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yoda.
Yeah.
Yoda. So when you're getting directed by Yoda, it kind of, first of all, Frank, stop talking backwards, okay? Just talk. This is not the movies, Frank.
Yeah.
So one of the rules we have is I don't want to force the funny. Just it kind of bubbles up from the conversations.
Sure.
Right? Like we had a guy, and I don't know. He must have been like 20-something. And I don't think I told you the story about the shoplifter. I don't think I told you this.
No.
So he, I go, what's going on? He goes, I just broke up with my girlfriend. I go, yeah. I go, she got arrested for shoplifting. I'm like, oh, that's too bad. He goes, yeah, I told her not to shoplift at CVS. I'm like, what? At CVS? He goes, yeah. Oh, he goes, oh, I taught her how to shoplift. Oh, jeez. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, what? And everybody's leaning in. I go, what? He goes, oh, yeah. She was jealous because I was getting a lot of stuff from shoplifting. I've been stealing stuff since I was 12. Like, I would steal bikes in the neighborhood, and I'd sell them back to the kids, right?
Right.
So anyway, I teach it. Now, what's blowing everybody's mind is there's no self-awareness. Like, he's not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
This is normal for
Right.
him.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why I always say, like, you can't write this. Like, we would write it if we were writers in a writer's room. You go, tear it up. A guy wouldn't teach his girlfriend.
We don't believe it. Yeah.
So I go, so what happened? So now everybody is literally, I could see the audience leaning in. I go, well, she was hounding me, teach me. I go, all right, I'll teach you. I go, but you got to use it, like, to make sense. Like, you can't go shop at, like, cheap places like CVS. What's the point? Were you going to get arrested for lipstick? Because you got to go to, like, Nordstrom. So it's like in the movies where, like, I will give you these powers, but use them for good. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah, but he gave bad powers.
Right, exactly. So it was like, so I go, okay, so what happened? He goes, so what does she do? I teach her. Spend like 6 months teaching her. He goes, it's not easy to teach somebody. He starts complaining, right, about how hard it is. He goes, and when I get a phone call, she goes to CVS, gets arrested. You know what she got arrested for? A hand mirror and tweezers. I'm like, I told you not. I go, so what happened? He goes, well, He goes, she called me to come down to help her. I go, did you go down? He goes, no, I'm not. I got stuff to do. I go, she goes, I go, she's in a squad car. He goes, yeah, I know. I eventually went down. I go, what happened? He goes, we got in an argument in the squad car. I broke up with her and left. In the squad car.
You're thinking some sort of, romantic Harlequin romance type story, and it ends in the back of a squad car over
tweezers in a mirror.
Oh my God!
I mean, we have like similar, like who's Lou would call in, and this guy, the stories that he would tell. You're like, this is like straight out of a movie or a TV show, and it's like, no,
it's
that's
amazing.
Yeah,
but I mean, if you stop and think about all stories, that these are, as you said. I was telling Preston a while ago, I fell down a YouTube hole of just news reports from the 70s. And so we're living in times now where, as we've often talked about, it just can't get any crazier. And you look back and you go, oh, wait, it was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy back then.
It was.
And it continues. And so these things, the regular human story, the regular
it's nothing like
audience member sitting there could probably has 9 Martin Scorsese movies in their actual life ready to go.
I was trying to find it. I've got it in my YouTube. I've got the video saved, but there used to be a series, I think it was on ABC, where a guy who was a journalist, he would literally take a map of the United States, he would throw a dart behind him. Do you remember that?
He was with Charles on that show,
Charles
CBS
Kuralt?
Sunday Morning.
Yeah.
Actually, I've done that show as a commentator. Yeah,
It would land on a town. He would go there. He would, back when phone books were around, he would go to a phone booth, open it up, find a name, randomly pick it, go by, and find out their story. And every single one of them was fantastic.
Is it Steve Hartman?
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And what's my safety, because people say to me, like these producers, when they first saw it, they go, well, those people plants. I'm like, how does it work out? I'm like, over the age of 6 and even younger, everybody has a story.
Yeah.
At least one that is worthy of being told. And so that's why it always works out. It's not because I do think they know that I'm not going to be. So Frank and I have this rule, Frank especially, no kumbaya. It's not like this. He always says, look, he's not like he's Wink Martindale, the talk game show host. He's like a regular guy. So like a guy had polio. There's this one thing I did, like of all the shows I've done, I think we played this clip, but we don't have to play it. But like I said to the guy, what's the issue here? And I pointed at his crutches. And Frank goes, I don't know how you get away with that. But like, I go, well, he's got crutches. I don't know how to say it.
Right, yeah.
So as long as you're not mean, they'll give you the world, right? And they get a, and I look, my father was high school educated, put floors in for a living. He wasn't IQ smart, but emotionally, intuitively, people are smart. And audiences can sniff out a jerk in a minute. So if I'm a jerk, they ain't giving me anything.
So they sense your authentic inquiry as to what are these about, and it wasn't based on anything. You just want to find out.
We just did the show in Chicago. I had this 72-year-old woman, hot, hot, smoking. If my wife weren't there, nothing would have happened, and would have been a lot of sobbing and weeping, and a lot of apologies.
I can't even nail the old chicks.
Yeah, they're her. That's her.
We're looking at the video of it. Okay.
That's her. Can we play that clip?
Not
That's
audio.
okay. So I said to her, you're 72. Wow, right? And then I say, can I just ask, I'm not trying to be funny, do you get horny at 72?
Yeah.
She goes, hell yeah. And then we went into a whole thing about that.
So these are questions that, what I love about this show, and I have another question that is in tandem to this one, is that a lot of times people are just afraid to ask questions. There's things that you labor under this misconception of things because it's not you're for that very conceit. It wouldn't be appropriate to ask. It wouldn't be appropriate.
Well, here's the thing.
Ask.
So the guy with polio that I had, I knew he had an affliction because it was those crutches that go around the forearms.
Right.
It wasn't like a busted ankle kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm going to talk to that guy right out of the gate, or somebody in a wheelchair who's in a wheelchair because of an affliction, because nobody talks to them. Not because they're mean, because I think people are fundamentally decent and are worried about saying the wrong thing. Stupid. Right. So you end up marginalizing these people. So like I had a guy up in Connecticut, and I looked to my left, and it's a guy who's got, I'm pretty sure it was either MS or CP, and it was like he was pretty, like he had the tube and the neck and the whole thing. Right. And he's with 3 of his buddies, but it's a Friday night. So to me, he's not a guy. He's just a guy out with his friends. Yeah. And I don't know anything about MS, so I'm going to start talking to him.
Right.
So I go, "What's up?" He goes, "What do you? I got MS." I go, "Oh wow." So we start talking. I'm just curious. can you get an erection with MS? He goes, damn straight. The place goes crazy. We're talking some more. I go, you want to do a shot? He goes, yeah, I'll do a shot. So we get a shot, a jack. I do it. I go, don't spill it down your hose and choke on me. I got a whole show to do here. So now I'm talking to him just the way I'm going to talk to anybody else. Because if I don't, then I'm guilty of the thing he does not want people to do, which is treat him like he's broken.
Because he is everybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
But when I said erection, if I said it to a guy who wasn't in a wheelchair, but the crowd went, ooh. And I said to the crowd, don't do that because you're making him feel like it's okay.
Right.
So then we kept talking, and then I go, he had this like shawl on, because they had the central nervous system to get cold. But the shawl was ratty, and it had a hole like the size of a baseball toward the bottom. And I go, what's going on with your shawl? I go, it's crappy looking. Yeah. I go, it's really ratty. You look like a homeless guy with that thing. Everybody starts laughing. I go, there's a hole in it. He goes, yeah. I go, let me guess. You got little wheels in the front, and the wheels in the front caught the shawl, and it ripped the hole. How did you know? And I said to his friends, I go, you cheap sons of... You can't... There's literally a TJ Maxx next door. You could collect $20 each and go. I go, you guys, you disgust me, I said to his friends. So I had a guy in front with cowboy boots on. I had him take one of his boots off. And I walked around the showroom, and I had people put money in a boot.
Oh, my God.
And then I sprinkled him like it was a strip club on the guy.
So, Paul, let me ask you, does this have... this is obviously a creature of the theater and having... Is there any potential to do something like this, as a live show, maybe...
Television?
Yeah.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
And we want to do it, we'd like to do it as a weekly show. And that would be the next thing is we're kind of preparing to start talking to some folks about that. Because
in all the stuff you've done, because I sense this from you, is this like, have you found your thing? Do you believe this is a thing? Because I think it's such a cool concept. You're absolutely equipped to do it. And does it feel that way for you? Am I overstating?
No, I think really radio, I'm really good at that. But no, I'm kidding. This is totally mine. Because because I really care about the conversations. It's not an artifice. It's not like I'm doing this, having this conversation with somebody as a way to get into a bit.
Yeah.
And this comes from working in my parents' furniture store when I was like 11 or 12. My mother had me selling furniture, so like I can kind of talk to people, I guess. And so yes, and Frank Oz says we need a show like this now because we're divisive. And in the opening of the show, I say, look, we're nameless and faceless to each other. We're disconnected and divisive. But if we share stories, we realize we have more in common than we think, and maybe we're not so divisive. And that's as far as I go.
Yes.
I ain't changing lives. It's not a political show. But I do say that this is real life and it's unscripted and never the same show twice. So I say to them, this is our show. No one's ever going to have this show.
Yeah.
This will always be our show tonight and nobody can have it. And I say, but the life lives in the gray area. We live in a world where we want to, it's black or white. I'm either this or I'm that. And if you're not with me, then you're the devil. And I'm like, can't we just live in the middle? And so I say in the opening monologue, life is messy and imperfect because people are messy and imperfect. But in that messiness and imperfection, that's what's interesting. That's what's compelling. That's what's crazy. That's what's teaching somebody how to shoplift. And like all this other stuff. So I think this is like, I kind of hit on a piece of gold. And,
You have.
And then, it's funny because Frank doesn't want me to push for funny. And he called me one night the next day after a show. And when you get sort of dressed down by Frank Oz, it's like your father to the 10th power.
Yeah.
So I'm about to walk out onto the set of The Late Show. Paul, it's Frank. I need to talk to you about the show last night. I'm like, yes, Yoda. Your robe is dirty. No, I said, he goes, what were you doing? I goes, you were pushing way too hard. You were trying for the funny and you were getting in the way. And he was right.
Yeah.
Because he brought some important people, industry people, in the audience, and I knew they were there, and I pushed.
Okay.
And he caught me on it.
Yeah.
And then he cut my leg off with a lightsaber. And he wasn't even in the same room.
Yeah.
That's what a master is.
The Force.
He was a mile away.
Yeah.
And
That's amazing.
Permission to Speak is a show, Sellersville Theater. It's on Friday night. Paul Mecurio here. Question, when you've got the audience there, are people volunteering stuff up? Are you picking them out? How do you
No, I
go
just
about
randomly pick them.
You just randomly pick them. Okay.
I mean, that is as
And I don't look
raw as
ahead
it
of
gets.
time.
Yeah.
We have a couple pieces of audio here.
Yeah.
There's one that says bowling alley purchase.
Yeah. This
What's
is a guy.
this?
I'm in Chicago, and I just bring a guy down, and I own Diversity Rock and Bowl, and the place went crazy because apparently it's like the coolest, biggest hottest bowling alley, and it goes from there.
Okay.
I own Diversity Rock and Roll. I was controller of a bank investment software company, left that job to buy the bowling alley for $2 with my friend Gary.
Well, you needed a friend because you didn't have $2?
Well, he still owes me $1.
Gary.
He still owes me $1.
Gary, I got a great deal, but I only have $1 on it. Come on, man. All right. Okay, let me call somebody else. Wait.
Oh, that's great. Here's one that says sibling rivalry fart story. And I have it says clean edited. Is that the one I'm playing, Marissa?
We sure hope.
All right, here we go.
And you're the older brother? Yep. Yeah, you probably scarred it. You were probably an ass when you were growing up. Oh, what's that?
Horror story.
Hang on a second.
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
Do you really want me to tell the story?
I gave her the mic and I'm sitting down now.
You're sitting down to do
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my God. Well, he liked to torture me in horrible ways. So basically, he has, like, horrible gas. Like, it makes your eyes water and just, like, your nose hairs just, like, singe. He would torture me and he would like chase me around. And then one day I wasn't fast enough and he pinned me down on the couch and sat on my head. And I literally felt, the air from his ass, basically like his ass hit my eye.
Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you to Skokie's own Fart Man, everybody. What's your name?
Joe.
Wow.
No, I had it coming.
No, step it.
Yeah, by the way, this was therapy. This was therapy.
My therapy.
Yeah.
I finally got my revenge.
You know what? It's funny because people have said to me this is like a group therapy that's funny and fun, and that's amazing.
Oh, man.
Let me ask you, so do you run the risk like with the with like the Impractical Jokers or with anything, not that this is that, that's going strictly for the laughs, of this becoming like Real World Season 4, where everyone's sort of playing characters and wanting to become part of your, ensemble, so to speak.
Yeah, no, I mean, because, it's funny because if I'll do back-to-back shows in a night in Chicago, we had people go buy tickets and come back to the second show because it's different.
Right.
And one of those people came up in the second show. They weren't in the first show. And some that I come up in the first show came back but didn't come up. So no, we don't. There's none of that problem. I mean,
good.
The therapy thing. The reason we wanted that clip, because it's crazy. It's like the level of detail with the nose hairs singeing and whatever. She was a very sweet person, but you could tell, like I say in the beginning, like that people kind of whatever. Once you took the mic, boom, like she was and had no. And then she said at the end, and then she went up to my wife afterwards and I after the show and said, I've been wanting to get that off my chest for years. So a lot of times people say it's kind of like therapy, but it just kind of goes the way it goes. And then I just let it take its own like path,
What's the most profound? Have you had any moment where you teared up or had to take a second because somebody said something that caught you so from left field?
Yeah, I had this transgender person on stage. And that was also a person I was hesitant to bring on, and then I got mad at myself because I couldn't figure out if it was a man or a woman. I'm like, I don't want to screw it up. And then, And then so we start talking, and I go, "You're transitioning from a woman to a man?" I go, "Oh yeah." She goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Oh, cool. You got like leg hair now." She goes, "Oh yeah, it's awesome, isn't it?" Like it was so excited. I think I'm getting some on my chest, and he started showing me his chest, right? And then I said, "How'd you tell your parents?" And he goes, "I don't remember." I go, why? She goes, well, I have a severe bipolar, and I've had 3 electroshock treatments, and I don't remember a lot of things in my life. Wow. Yeah. And now it's like, the plane's going into the ground a little bit. And I'm like, you know what? Really? I said, there's a lot of things in my life I don't want to remember. Maybe I should get electroshock treatment. Everybody laughed.
Well, but I mean, to Frank Oz's point that he keeps making to you, I think the show can exist, at least, and I definitely want to see it. It can exist to that level where it's just simply a moment of a heartfelt.
It's supposed to reflect real life,
right?
So you can't run away from the serious moments.
Right,
you just ride them out because I want them to walk away going, this was just like a really cool conversation that was mostly funny, but it had these other moments too, and that's okay. We can all get through it.
So what do you do when you hit a roadblock? Because you're mining for gold with every person, right? But it's not going to be gold every time. So do you reroute? Do you start over, or you just sort of like, all right, this one was okay. I'll just go on to the next one. Like, what's your mindset?
Yeah. So usually I bring a few people up, and if I'm hitting a roadblock or whatever, I just say, "You're dead to me."
So subtle.
And get off my friggin' stage.
Okay.
You're ruining my career. I got a kid who needs shoes.
Sure.
I know within like 30 seconds or a minute. You guys are so great at this. You know, right?
Yeah.
If they're it's usually just if they're nervous, they don't have anything.
Yeah.
I just leave them alone.
Yeah.
I'll kind of go to the other person, and then I'll just focus on the other person, and then sort of, I have go away. And then I have a spotlight on them, and we mock them. It's called mocking the loser.
Right.
Who sucks.
I love it.
How about a hand for sucking the life out of the room? And
Pointing out their flaws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but there are people. It's a great question. Like, but it's very rare. You know what I mean? It's very rare. The ones I love the most, they're always the ones that talk to the most are the ones that are like, oh, no, I don't. Oh, takes the mic. Hey, everybody! It's always that one. It's always that one.
Yeah.
It's been insane. Like I don't know if I told you this when I was here before, but there was a guy. I hope you don't mind if I tell you this.
No.
He goes, you want a story? I got a story. Goes, my wife left me for a priest.
You told us. Yeah.
And he tells this whole story about a priest. And then I met another older couple, like in their 70s, and just normal looking couple. And how'd you meet? We met on an S&M website.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. She goes, yeah, I'm a sub and he's a dom, and we were looking and we met on this. This was in New York. The show was in New York, and we met. The site's called like Older and Dom, something like that. And we started talking, and then we got together and we fell in love, and we just got married, and this is our honeymoon, and the place went crazy. And they literally look like your grandmother and grandfather. They smell the mothballs, everybody. They smell the moth. And that's what I mean. Like, it's the person walking down the street that you pass, and you have no idea the life they're living.
Yes.
And that's what's fascinating
Tell you what,
to me.
man, if I was a screenplay writer or somebody who's like looking for an idea, I'd go sit in the audience, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have.
I mean,
there.
because you would literally sit there most of the time and go, it's just not believable that these two people would meet on. And you know what the woman said? This is the main reason why I do this. If I don't know something, I can ask and learn something. Yeah. So I said, why are you into this? She said, because I have a really important, high-powered job, and I have to be in control all the time.
Yeah.
And when I'm a sub and we're in, they call it sexual power exchange, which I'll show you later, if you play your cards right. And she said, and when I'm a sub in that moment, I can release all control, and somebody else is in control, and I need that.
Yeah.
Now, if you asked me to think of 80 reasons why somebody would do that, I would never think of that.
Yeah.
So now I get goosebumps talking about it. I don't even know why, because I'm horny. And but like, so yeah, it's
cool.
It's like funny coming out, but also like this sort of like window into other worlds and stuff.
I don't think there's been. I mean, there've been experimental. There's been experimental theater forever, but I don't remember anything like this in a long time, and specifically like this, I've never heard of. And the fact that you have Frank Oz, I think it's going to be a good time Friday night.
We have some tickets to give away for this. For Friday, I have a pair of tickets if you want to go see Paul Mecurio and this event. It's going to be at the Sellers Theater on Friday night. The show is at 8 o'clock. And we'll take caller number 15 at 215-263-WMMR. But you should order your tickets, and you can do that through ST94, stands for Sellersville Theater, ST94.com. And you can get those tickets. But nah, dude, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I had to buy my mother underwear. Do I have a second?
You do, yes. Go ahead.
So my sister wasn't feeling well, and mother's 96. To take her to Target. So we go to Target, and she's got her hearing aid on, and we're walking through Target, like this little 4 feet of, like, whatever. And we end up in the older woman's underwear department. What is going on? Like, the bra, they're
the contraptions.
There's like
Why
there's
should it
like
be so big?
there's pulleys. It's like like there were melons in there. Like it was like you could literally display. So my mother's now she got cataracts, so she goes over. And I just want to get out of there. And she goes over, she makes a beeline for a counter. She goes, "Oh, I think I found something." And she holds up a thong. I'm like, "Put that down. Drop that right there." So I look over to my right and like by the floor in a corner, clearly nobody's ever gone near it, cobwebs on it. It was like a rack of like big old underwear. Like the beige napkin that Nick has in front. Like these, what Italians call mudandi underwear, right? These big bloomers. And there's 1X, 2X, 3X, and 4X. And now I'm like, I don't know what size my mother is. So now she's across the way with her back facing me, and I'm checking out her ass. I'm like, oh, this is killing me.
no.
And I don't know. I'm trying to size it up, right? So I grab one. I'm like, okay, let's get out of here. Okay, and we're walking through, and she's like, what? And oh, that's cute. Put your hand. Let's go. We gotta go. We gotta go. And I go, wait, just let me. And then she goes, here, Ma, just hold. She goes. She goes, okay, what do you think? Does this look like it's going to fit? And she's holding it up to now her front region.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I can't. So but it's on a short hanger. I'm like, this doesn't look right. So I pop it off the hanger, and it was folded like 4 times.
Oh, no.
It was like a sail for a schooner. It was like this big.
I love that.
And she goes, I think I just need one. I turned into the parent. I go, no, I am never doing this again. You're getting the whole damn rack. I'm never walking back in this place again.
Poor thing.
Scarred for life.
Scarred for life.
Oh my God.
And that's the kind of story that would come out in the show, I'm sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, bring your stories and your friends to the event. It's called Permission to Speak, starring Paul Mecurio. And it will be at, like I said, Sellersville Theater on Friday night. 8 o'clock is the show. Dude, great to hear about this.
Thank you so much.
So
you guys
happy
are
for
always
ya.
so generous and great. And by the way, I got a little more swag. I think I was a little short on T-shirts the last time I came, so I brought a few more.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it.
Old women underwear you brought with you.
Yeah, exactly. And mothballs.
We got to take a break because our friend Eli Roth is going to be joining us in just a moment. But we love you, Paul Mecurio.
Thank you, guys.
Go see him
So
at the
fun.
Sellersville Theater
Love you
Friday
guys.
night. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
Preston and Steve on 93.3.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
Thank you very much, Kath. Our next guest, Steve and I were just talking off air, and Steve, you said he's got a lot of irons in the fire.
Yep.
He wears a lot of hats, goes by a lot of names.
Antonio Margari.
But we know him as different, and he's talking about the film Thanksgiving, which is now available across several platforms. Please welcome Eli Roth to the show. Good morning, Eli.
Good morning.
Nice to have you on.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thanks for joining us, man. By the way, we played the Antonio Margheriti clip at the beginning there, and I loved that Quentin made Antonio a spaghetti western director in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That was nice.
Yeah. Well, Antonio was, he was a great director. Antonio Margheriti. He was a real director.
He's a real director.
7 Deaths. Oh yeah, 7 Deaths in the Cat's Eye. So Margheriti is named after one of our favorite directors. He did spaghetti westerns. He did giallos. He did horror films. And I actually met his son, Eduardo Margheriti, who really appreciated that I played his dad.
Oh, that is awesome.
That's excellent.
Well,
one of the things that he was known for is that he was very technically, like the equipment was very heavy, without being too nerdy. His movies were really he did amazing technical shots, like stuff with cranes and cameras. Like he had like this crazy kind of engineering mind. So he would do these wild camera moves that only he could figure out how to do them. That was in like 60s and early 70s. So yeah, that was a tribute to him.
That's cool. Well, Thanksgiving is an homage. I saw it, loved it. All of the additional stuff as well of the behind the scenes. It is homage to slasher movies. I know you were raised on them as well. Halloween, Prom Night, Maniac, stuff like that. And so I'm watching the movie and reading up on you and the idea behind doing this. It was you guys, you and your friend Jeff Rendell, who's you wrote the script together. You grew up in Massachusetts, and I was like you. I'm like, they're hitting every friggin' holiday, and yet they haven't hit Thanksgiving. And that occurred to you as kids, correct?
Oh yeah, no, especially being in Massachusetts, where like the school play is about Thanksgiving.
Right.
And there's not one, but two separate pilgrim recreation villages that you go to. I remember watching the lady going, and here we churn the butter and watch the television. And the trick was, as a kid, you're always a smart ass. You're always trying to like bust the pilgrim. You were like, hey, do you watch television? You're like, what is a television? You're like, yeah, did you see the Celtics blow it last night? You're like, man, Bird missed that free throw. I was so pissed. He was like, trying to get them to break character. But, you'd see the butter churner and the industrial oven and stuff and think, man, what if we were roasting a person in there and you could, what if during the parade you chopped off the turkey's head? Would they run around like a turkey with their head chopped off? So every year we were just waiting for them, there's the perennial them, to make the Thanksgiving slasher film. And it was, for me, it sucked because it was like a dead zone. It was just like after, starting November 1st, it was just holiday and Christmas movies the rest of the year. Occasionally there's the Killer Santa Claus movie. But my life's goal was to fill the calendar of the November slasher film.
Well, mission accomplished. Loved it. And I love the fact that you employ a couple of the knowingly, tongue-in-cheek, some of the great horror tropes, but you did something, and a complimentary right at the top of this film, right at the top of this interview. There's, and I don't mind giving this one thing away because people who are animal, fans and love pets and, do charity work, there's a site called Does the Dog Die? So there's a scene, and I've told everybody about it, where the killer, there's a cat in the room, and you think the cat is going to get killed because but I'm thinking, no, Eli would not do that. He's not a lazy director. And sure as hell, there's something wonderful that happens. I won't reveal completely what happens, but I assume that was a conscious effort to buck the trend of always killing the damn pet, correct?
Well, it's not just killing the pet. I worry who's going to feed the pet. Like, once the owner's dead, you're like, what about the cat? Like, I remember watching Alien going, I didn't care about anyone on that spaceship. I was like, I just don't want the alien to kill the cat. Jones. As soon as I see a cat in a movie or a dog, that's the only one I'm rooting for in the film. So that was something, I always worry when I'm watching a slasher film when someone gets killed and the killer leaves. I'm like, but who's going to feed the dog? Actually, even though I know it's fake, I can't enjoy the movie. So I wanted to address that issue once and for all.
Brilliantly done. I busted out laughing because I knew exactly where you were going, and I just thought it was brilliant. A number of other things. You also, I don't want to give any aspect of this away, but there is a scene that takes place because you have Black Friday, of course, always in tandem to Thanksgiving, and that always to me seemed like a horror movie in itself waiting to happen, and that's what sets off the events that lead to the story of Thanksgiving. I'll let you give the synopsis because I don't want to reveal anything you don't want to reveal, but tell people what they can expect with Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, there's a Black Friday trampling, and several people are killed, and then we cut to, a year later, and there's a killer. There's a video that's gone viral of the trampling, and all the different people that are involved in the trampling in one way or another are getting picked off by the killer. So there's a few different people with motivations. They're trying to guess who the killer might be, and all the kids are trying to, kind of stop the killer while they're getting picked off in horrible Thanksgiving-themed ways. So, for years, we wanted to do this, and Jeff Rendell, my best friend, and I, we kind of couldn't figure out what was, other than just doing a basic slasher film, what was the reason to do it? And it was these Black Friday tramplings, which, if you think about it, the only reason that people play these gladiator games is because everyone's pay has been cut down to nothing. There's like no middle class pay anymore. Right. So everyone's like forced to compete in these gladiator games to get stuff for their kids. So it's really just about this idea that we're all like, oh, I'm so thankful. I just need my friends and I just need my family. And then 2 hours later, you're killing each other for waffle iron. So it's about the way we're like pitted against each other. I thought, oh, this is interesting because it's not about being thankful anymore. It's literally about killing each other for electronics.
What I love is
in October, I was getting those Black Friday notices on my phone. Like, Thanksgiving doesn't exist anymore. There's Halloween and Black Friday and then Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what's great is the phrase doorbuster is inherently violent. It suggests there are so many people trying to get in that the doors break through, and that is depicted in the movie. I have to ask you, because you did something I think that is brilliant. Any slasher film is also inherently a whodunit, who's behind this. And you did something that I thought is just genius, because I was actually watching and seeing if I could recognize body language from the killer to the different people I was suspecting was the killer, this character John Carver. Tell everyone what you did, because I think this is a brilliant way to approach this.
I used several different people playing John Carver because I'm the same way. I'm watching a movie going, oh, that's the killer, that's the tick, and knowing that I do that, I can intentionally screw with people and have the killer do certain things that the actors do in certain moments. So the audience like, oh, wait a minute, that's the killer. No, wait, is that the killer? So, if I had the same person or just a stunt person play the killer, you'd sort of recognize them by size and body language. But in continually changing who played the killer, and I had everyone do it, even if whether you were the actual killer or not the killer, where you're just a cast member, or if you were a stunt person. There was a certain language that the body of the way the killer moved, and I said, okay, when you're John Carver, this is how John Carver moves. So it was really fun. Everybody wanted to play the killer. Everyone's like, I want to be the killer. So it was, but it's great because it's close enough that it's not like you have someone who's 300 pounds suddenly playing the killer,
right.
But it does sort of throw you off. It was actually something that William Friedkin did in the movie Cruising with Al Pacino, where you're still trying to guess the killer. He also has the killer call, and he changes his different actors' call. He changes the killer's voice and the body language. But I always thought it was so effective and creepy in like throwing you off and trying to guess. As long as the payoff is satisfying, you can get away with it.
The payoff is satisfying, and I was completely, again, I love the fact that I was surprised at the end by who the killer was. And you have a great cast. You have Patrick Dempsey, Gina Gershon, who's the coolest. And you do something else. And obviously this is where your pedigree as a horror film director comes in. You know how important it is to like the teenagers who are being slaughtered. Mm-hmm. You've got to have good people in those roles.
You got to like them.
Yeah.
I mean, they can do annoying things. They can be idiots. That's the fun with teenagers, is they're not going to do what adults would do. Because adults would deal with the situation logically. But teenagers are like impulsive and irrational, and they react really emotionally, and someone in the group always does something stupid. But they can't be idiots. And I wanted them to be 2023 teenagers that are, every decision they're making is smart, and they're ahead of the police, and no one listens to them. You feel kind of powerless. But we're very lucky. We had this amazing performance. The movie's anchored by Nell Verlaque.
Yeah.
She came in and she's a discovery. I mean, she had done a Disney show, but she's like a young Julia Roberts. She's so incredible. She's a trained theater actor out of New York. And then Addison Rae, who most people know from TikTok. And she's great. She's really terrific. And Milo Manheim from his Disney shows, and Jalen Thomas Brooks, Tommaso Sinelli, they were great. Everyone was so game to do. They all really bonded as real friends. They're all so different. They're all, and that's one of the things that always gets overlooked in a horror film is the acting, because I always say the blood stains your eyes, like you remember the decapitations and the kills, and that's okay. That's the purpose of it. But I think you want to find great actors. I mean, look, in Knock Knock, I put Ana de Armas in. It was her first English language role. And then, Last Exorcism, Caleb Landry Jones. There's movies I've been involved in where you find someone, you're like, this is an incredible actor.
Right.
And you want their career to have that longevity. So it's great. Look, we never know what's going to happen, but I love the kids. I loved hanging out with them. And you want to root for them. I mean, you kind of want to see them get it.
There, to that point, there is a trampoline sequence. I will not give it away, but the second I saw the trampoline, I started laughing because I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And to that point, Eli, as a director, and obviously, with your films and writer as well, how do you thread the needle? Because you do it, I think, brilliantly. The horror comes through, and there is inherent comedy, but it doesn't cross over into absolute, off the wall comedy. You're laughing because of whether it be the viscera. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. Well, look, I don't like movies where the character it's suddenly a joke and it's not real anymore, because it tells the audience don't take it seriously. Like, I told the characters, they were like, the kids don't always understand what's happening or the tone I want, but I have to say, like, to them, they don't know they're in a horror film. They're just dealing it with it like it's a real situation. They're not being ironic. They're not being self-aware. They're not making jokes about it. They can, point out what's happening to them as characters. But even when I have them watch movies before we start shooting. And they're like, should we watch Friday the 13th? I was like, no. Watch Sorcerer by William Friedkin.
Yeah.
Watch 5 Easy Pieces. Look what Jack Nicholson does in that movie. Like, watch great performances. Watch people that can sit there and do nothing and hold the screen, or out there in 0-degree weather, not complaining. Like, that's what I want. For the girls, watch Betty Blue. And they were like, whoa, movies they'd never heard of, kind of old stuff from the 70s and 80s, but it inspired them. It made them think differently about, look at the possibilities of what you can do. There's no small actors. There's no small parts, only small actors. Like, a great actor can take 5 minutes in a movie and walk away with a film. And everyone should be trying to do that. So, look, then we peppered it with people like Rick Hoffman from Suits, plays Louis Litt.
He's great.
Tim Dillon, who I love.
Yeah.
Tim Dillon is Manny, the security guard. So it's just finding, Gina Gershon, obviously Patrick Dempsey. So everyone was happy to be there. It was really good energy on set. But that's the key is you got to like them. You have to. And even if someone's, kind of a dickhead in the movie, you have to enjoy watching it.
No, it's true. It's true. And you get that subtle aspect that can kill a horror movie for me if I just don't.
Kill it.
I'm not invested at all. I have to ask you one other thing because obviously the kills in a movie, in a slasher movie, they're an art form, and there's a lot of obviously practical effects that take place. How often are you left having to improvise? So you have it planned one way and you have to improvise another way to get it done on set.
I mean, I can't even tell you. It almost feels like it's every time. Like, for example, we have someone's face getting impaled, and that just went off. It just didn't work. And if that wasn't happening the last night, I didn't know what we were going to do. Sometimes, look, on Green Inferno, we were dismembering and eating people, and we were shooting in the jungle in Peru. So we shipped in all these prosthetics, but they got stopped at the airport because people they thought we were really shipping body parts.
Oh, no.
Which I guess was a problem. And we didn't have it in time. So we had to go to a supermarket. We were in the jungle, so we had to send someone an hour away, to the local town with a shopping cart to get a bunch of grapes and, livers and things that could pass for organs. They're just ripping them out and covering it in blood. So I've had to look on Cabin Fever. I spent months for the leg shaving. I wrote the movie around that gag. We cast Serena Vincent's legs. They were going to peel like a banana, and we opened the prosthetics, and they had froze in the shipping. We're in North Carolina, and they froze, and they were completely useless. And we're about to shoot the scene. So what Garrett Immos, makeup artist, goes, well, maybe I'll just paint something on, and we reveal it. And then I took the sound of a shovel. Like when you're shoveling and you hit your driveway, and it makes that awful scrape.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
That sound used to torture me growing up. But it took a shovel and dragged it sideways across the car, even though it makes no logical sense.
Yeah.
That was the sound I used when she scrapes her legs. People ran out of the theater screaming, and they're like, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
It's brutal.
But that's all directing. All directing is like being a jazz musician, and you just have to improvise. It's literally planning everything. It's how good can you fix it when absolutely everything goes wrong, and there's no money and there's no other way to do it, and you got to figure something out. It's literally that. That's what directing is.
I want to direct people to check out Green Inferno as well because it's just you have to see it to believe it. But Thanksgiving is definitely a wonderful homage and a new entry into great slasher films. Job well done, Eli, and so people can now get it on various streaming services.
And producing Thanksgiving 2 currently as well?
Yeah, well, today's the day the disc is being released. So we got the Blu-ray and the DVD come out as well as digital streaming, and they released it for some reason in 500 theaters. So it's actually playing the late shows. Maybe.
Go see it that way. Yeah, yeah.
Leaving your house in 30-degree weather.
Yeah.
But yeah, the film. Thankfully, the film did well enough. People look. It's hard to launch a new property in this day and age. Everybody wants reboots and sequels. So the fans really came out and supported it in the theaters, and it did well. And we're going to do another one. So I'm writing that right now. I'm just literally in my house thinking ways to, ways to kill different characters.
Work.
That's what you do.
Excellent. All right, Eli, congratulations. Thanks for sharing these thoughts with us this morning. We'll remind everybody you can get it now, Thanksgiving. And we'll check in with you another time. All right, man?
It's so great talking to you guys. I really appreciate it. Always good to talk with fellow horror fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Eli Roth, everyone. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the theaters. It's playing right now. Thanksgiving is playing in Cherry Hill, Philadelphia Mills, Neshaminy, Regal Burlington, Center Valley, Allentown. So those are the areas, yeah.
Well, think of every way associated with meal preparation for Thanksgiving and figure that is a method of killing in Thanksgiving. And but you will find yourself chuckling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, we have a little time to play with here. I want to read this email that we received yesterday. This was sent to our promotions department, to Eric, and this is from Brooke and Brian Moore in Marlton, New Jersey, and they are the ones who won the Eric Lindros Yeah, I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
Wow. I never thought Eric Lindros would be calling my phone.
So the email says, and they won tickets to the alumni game, the game after that, and a chance to meet Eric Lindros. And got this email. It says, thank you so much for the amazing opportunity Brian and I had this past weekend. The seats for both games were great. Saturday, we met up with Kate from the Flyers organization, and she took us down to the ice to watch the Flyers warm up. And then we had the meet and greet with Eric Lindros, who just happened to bring along his friend John LeClaire.
Wow.
And she attached a video when they first walked in, and she said Brian greeted him with, hey, bitches. And Eric and John were so cool. They were very down to earth. They hung out. They talked with us for about a half hour. Brian and I are both teachers at Cherokee High School in Marlton, and we found out that John's sister also taught at Cherokee for a while. And Eric got us into the team's hallway, and we were able to fist bump all the Flyers as they headed out onto the ice. Then we snapped a few photos with Eric and John. Then Eric gave Brian an autographed hockey stick. And then he writes, Kate, thank you for being so kind, or she writes, being so kind to escort us around and give us behind-the-scenes look at the Wells Fargo Center. We will definitely be in touch about the carnival and Gritty's Chaos Corner. And then she writes, Preston, Steve, Casey Boy, Nick, Kathy, Marissa, we listen every morning. So you've already been our favorite radio show, but this definitely put you guys over the top. This weekend was truly amazing and one that we will never forget.
To be honest, we knew it was going to be good. We didn't know it'd be that good.
Yeah,
that's pretty
awesome.
amazing.
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
Love getting feedback like that after our contests, our trips and all that stuff. So we appreciate the love. Thank you very much.
Nick, you're the first to say that, and we've seen it firsthand. The Flyers organization steps up big time whenever there's a prize or somebody's being given a special accommodation.
Well, the product on the ice has not been great for the last few seasons, and now it's starting to get better, which is great. But they just have really reversed course. They're doing so much better, and I'm proud to be a Flyers fan. I'm obviously I always root for them to do well, but they're just so easy to work with. And guys like Eric and Bernie Perrant and John LeClaire, they're decent people, and so they wanted to come down. I chatted with Eric a little bit on Friday night, and they wanted to come down and say hi to these guys that won the contest because they wanted them to have a good time. It wasn't just a hey, how are you, and then scoot them on their way. They wanted them to enjoy what the prize was and enjoy meeting them. And then those guys, the prize winners, got to go Friday night for the alumni game, and then again on Saturday afternoon.
And no matter what the team is doing, as far as like how they're doing on the ice, record-wise, the team has always been accessible to its fans.
That's right.
And I love that.
Excellent. All right, well, listen, another thing I want to do, I want to play a couple of pieces of audio here, and then I have a story that loosely ties into this. But, Steve, you sent this over.
Yes.
Richard Marks. Yes, there you go. Thank you very much.
Had him in the studio. We had a blast.
Right here waiting, and all the hits, all the very light hits that he've had over the years. He was performing at a concert, and somebody starts, I don't know, were they...
Here's what happened.
Were they kind of razzing him? Or?
No, he's just an idiot to begin with. But he's there. He's on stage. It's an acoustic thing. He's playing this quiet moment. So and so he's kind of moving as someone who's singing, uses the microphone and steps away and comes in a little bit. And this woman yells out, "Get back to the mic!"
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is that part of it, and then he has something to say about it. So. All right, so that's the moment.
And you can hear people going, shh, shh, like trying to shush her. And then other people will do, like, if he hits a note or whatever, woo,
Wait, and I'm sorry, why did she say get back to the mic?
Because he was stepping back because he was playing the guitar, and I guess she felt she couldn't hear him.
Right.
Because Lord knows he doesn't know how to use a microphone.
Mic control. Yeah. All right, and then this is him talking directly to her.
I'm genuinely curious who raised you to think that anything you could yell out was more important than what we were doing. Learn some manners, lady.
Switching marks.
Yeah.
That's like Barry Manilow threatening to kick your ass.
Totally. I love it. I remember he's a great follow on social media because he rips on himself. He will definitely, he gets it. And I remember years ago, the first time that I realized that, he had said something along the lines of, he's the most popular artist in dentist's office everywhere, which leads me to this story that I have here. I saw this. It was a survey of musical preferences. This is digital healthcare platform Tibra found what type of music people would want to hear as they're going into the dentist or doctor's office.
Yes. So seeing this article, it made me think about times that I'd wondered if there was a method to the Muzak madness of waiting rooms for surgery or for whatever. And I guess there is to some extent.
Researchers analyzed 59,363 songs on Spotify, which had been added to playlists containing the terms doctor's office or dentist office waiting room.
Okay.
And additionally, 1,000 Americans were surveyed about their musical preferences. Respondents were asked which genres they found most relaxing at the doctor's office and most stressful, and what type of music they tend to hear in medical settings. And they were also asked to point to individual songs on the playlist and give preference for those that they'd like to hear in a waiting room. The number one song, most common song on a medical waiting room playlist is Don't Stop Believin' from Journey.
Journey.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I was
positive.
A little surprised at, but yes, it's a positive don't stop believing message.
Did you guys see the video I posted of me and my daughters at the father-daughter dance on Friday night?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. First, you go through getting into your new suit.
Yeah.
And it's you surrounded by other dads with their daughters just wailing to this.
Singing this song, and what was the most encouraging was the amount of high school girls that knew every single word to this song.
Yeah, it's absolutely. Caroline loves this song. The friends all love this song. So, it's it's cross generations for sure.
I think it's going to be one of those timeless, Wherever You Are.
Yeah. And the only other song of the night that I would say that warranted a sing-along like this song did was Mr. Brightside by the Killers as well.
Nice.
Okay. So other songs on this list of most common songs in medical waiting room playlist. Number 2 is I'm Like a Bird.
I'm like a bird.
Nelly Furtado. Right? Is that Nelly Furtado? Ken?
It is.
Furtado.
Are you a fan of Nelly Furtado?
How does it go again?
I'm like a bird. I'm gonna fly away.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
And then
Fly south in cold weather.
what was that sort of slutty song that Nelly did? It was a follow-up.
Nelly Furtado.
Yeah, she got a little sassier. Do you remember that one?
No. I'm just looking at the lyrics.
It
to
was
this
produced
one.
by Timbaland.
Now I know the next line.
What's the next line?
I don't know where my home is. Something all I need is you. Yeah.
I like a bird.
No, I'm not singing it, but now I got it. I know it.
I wonder
know
if
it.
I heard the actual song if I would know it.
You
or not.
would.
Oh, you would
Probably
totally.
would.
Yes.
This is like
You can't get it from
it's
us
an
singing?
earworm.
I'm not getting it from you guys.
Oh my God! I thought you knew this one.
No.
What a commentary! Every one of us trying to sing, and we are sucking.
But
major.
listen, I'm clueless when it comes to newer popular music, so it may just be that I
new,
have.
though.
This is about the
old is it?
aughts.
This one's old, right?
This has got to be, I would say, 15 years old at least.
Oh wow!
Yeah, here it is.
You're beautiful.
No.
That's for sure.
24 years old. Came out in 2000.
Okay. Well, I consider new music 25 years.
Oh, okay.
If it was,
Anything since Y100 is new.
Do you know it?
It's not for sure.
No?
No.
Fast forward to the chorus.
I won't ever change. And though my love is
We're now playing the song in the bar.
It's coming.
Is it coming?
Right on your
Here it
corner.
goes,
All
right?
right. Let me
Here
take
it
my
comes,
pants
Reese.
off.
Get ready.
All right, feel it.
Here we go.
Let me hear it for crying out loud.
Earworm.
Hang on.
Here it is.
I've never heard this song.
No!
before.
Never heard that.
Yes, you have. You just don't remember
I
it.
can't believe I know a song and you don't.
I'm pretty sure you heard this song on Friday, December 2nd, 2022.
We played it on the air here.
Well, that's when this was loaded
That was
into
when
our
it was
system.
created.
So
Maybe I have. I don't know. It's lovely.
She's a lovely girl.
this is, I
Very
think,
exotic looking.
definitely in your wheelhouse, Preston.
Yeah.
This
No,
just
I
said,
agree.
Casey, the slutty song is Promiscuous.
Ooh.
Nelly Furtado, Promiscuous.
After all these years.
I'll put this on kind of a relaxed playlist that I have. This is a good chill.
Yeah, probably next to Michelle Branch, and right?
Yes,
They're like that?
exactly.
I,
Yeah.
I
All right,
hear you.
which
I'm
one-
feeling you, bro.
Which one is the one?
Making my way down.
Oh, 1,000 Miles, Vanessa Carlton.
My name is Regis.
I know that's like, but I didn't know it.
How's the bowling show?
I can see you got it. I can't believe
I knew this.
You did.
Yeah. Name that tune and how many dips?
Oh, we should do that.
I can name that song in 3 regions.
All right, so that's number 2 on this list. Number 3 is Africa from Toto.
Okay.
Yeah.
Being heard in definitely a medical waiting room.
Do you know, so there's a song, there are some songs that I am, like, in my life, I think I'm done hearing, and they may be great songs.
Are you going to say Africa?
Toto, Africa is not one of them.
Oh,
It keeps,
right.
it is, I always am into hearing that song.
You know
And
why?
The Weezer,
Oh, yeah. But
which
why
is the song.
I love that song is the harmony that it has.
Yeah.
Like, because that guy just stays there.
Safe light repair, safe
Yeah.
light replace.
Well, yeah, sometimes they'll do that. One note is held, and then the other will be in motion. It'll move melodically, and it causes a really cool.
Which one do you guys do?
I stay with because I can't
I don't know,
harmonize.
I do the other one.
So you do?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm so good at it. In my car. In my car.
That's
Yeah.
They should cut to, they should cut to,
on this list right now.
stock
sing like this all morning long?
Oh, no.
cut to stock footage of animals stampeding in Africa.
So the reason being, real quick, and then we'll go back to our harmonizing.
We don't have to.
We just got it.
These songs give you an association with feelings of calm and relaxation.
Yes.
In medical situations.
So are they
Meanwhile,
purposely playing them?
these are these are what people have put on their. Well, I guess maybe some are. You know,
I've heard-
putting on a playlist.
I've absolutely heard Africa in doctors' offices and dentists' offices and stuff like that. Absolutely.
By the way, so metal, hip hop, and gospel were the genres people least.
talk about, and obviously Kyle's a fantastic singer, but I was watching Preston, the video for I Can't Tell You Why, the Eagles.
Oh.
And when they suddenly come in, with their harmony, and they're doing it right the F there. It's like, how is that even possible?
I know. I can't hit usually like the first note of a harmonizing melody without going, I'll lead into
like
it.
Me, be, be, be.
Yeah.
I just when we tried to harmonize that one time.
Oh, it's
so good. It's so good.
It's so bad, it's good.
Yes.
However, we did kind of reinvent harmonizing with our Safe Light Repair.
You too, just the two of you. We tried all of us.
I like the one little. You guys were going to do it.
We were going to do it without even counting down.
3, 2, 1.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace. Repair.
You heard that?
Yeah.
God done.
No, it's the new. It's now. It's
Is that what it
a
is?
subsidiary.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
Safe Light Repair.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the newest trend. is
Once when
repairing.
you've repaired it to perfection, now begins the repairing.
This has been repaired so well.
Yes.
It needs to be repaired.
Why'd you call me back? Well, you didn't do the repairing.
All right, what else is on there?
Brown Eyed Girl follows Africa. Then Hey Soul Sister.
Hey, Soul
Sister. Hey, that Mr. on the radio.
That's another one that I find. I'm not usually a fan of that kind of song, but I like that
But
song.
It's a good song. Then you have I'm Yours from Jason Mraz.
Oh, yeah.
I like it, that one.
I don't know. How's it go?
Come on, Kat.
No.
Come on, sing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kathy Romano.
No, I do have it on my phone though.
Well,
I'm
sing
not
it.
singing it.
While
no.
you're looking for it, sing it.
I'm not taking
You guys will make fun of me for the rest of my life.
Well, that's already a given.
Right, exactly.
All right. While she's pulling that up, we have mood lighting in the studio now. Riptide by Vance Joy.
Oh, I like that one. Yes. I
How
have
does that go,
too.
Kath?
Stop.
Do you know that case?
Yeah.
Sing
Can you name that tune and how many dips?
I actually, I do remember.
That's Riptide.
This is Riptide?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good song.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's called this.
It's a good song.
Yeah, I've heard that
I
one.
like that one. I don't have I'm Yours, though.
What's that song by the white cheese? The
Plain White Tees. Delilah song.
that's the one I hear a lot.
Hey there, Delilah, what's it like in New York City?
Had you seen the pizza rat yet?
Pretty. After Riptide is Drops of Jupiter by
Sorry.
Train. So Train's got two on there. What?
Sorry, my phone kept playing.
Drops of Jupiter. That's a good one.
I like it, that one. I think I like that one better than the Soul Sister one.
Okay. Then Dreams by Fleetwood Mac.
Oh my God.
I actually just watched the live version of Silver Spring.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's effing good.
That's a beautiful, beautiful song.
And and the original version on the album is good, but I have to say,
No.
the live version.
They did not put the original version on the album. Steve, I'm going to send you a link. It was left off of Dreams, or Dreams was left off of Rumors.
Is that right?
Yeah. There's a whole backstory that Preston doesn't want to get into right now, but I'm going to share it with you because it's fantastic.
About what?
About this song.
Silver Springs.
It's so there's so many intricacies about how those guys were breaking up and getting back together, and so they purposefully left it off. And Mick Fleetwood had to take Stevie Nicks out of the studio, tell her it wasn't going to be on the record. 14 years later, they decided to release it as a single, and then they rehearsed it during the dance for the lead up to the dance, and she held back in the rehearsals. So then she and Lindsay are up on stage together, and you can see it coming out of her in a way that she had never performed it live.
Because it's an
before.
amazing
The
performance.
entire story behind Silver Spring and how it made it to the dance and how it became that powerful of a version is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, so essentially that's why I ended up watching it. Was I think the headline was like, look at the daggers that Stevie is staring at
That's exactly
Lindsay,
right.
especially towards the end of the song where she's like, never get away.
Yeah.
And she's just staring at him.
She's just and then if they cut, I think that's the song they cut to a shot. Courtney Love is in the audience, and she's like, "Holy hell!
Wow.
I thought I was after." No.
Well, Dreams is Dreams.
Just shooting daggers.
Is a song that would make it into the dentist or doctor's office and is preferred to listen to before you go in for your procedure or whatever you're getting done. Also on this list is Iris from the Goo Goo Dolls. I love
Beautiful
that song.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I assume in a proctologist's office, there's a lot of hole.
Yeah.
This basically sounds like my workout playlist. I swear to God, I listen to
You're not
Dennis
you're not
and-
cranking Prodigy or stuff like that.
No, and for some reason, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like the chiller music ends up working for me.
Nelly
I
Furtado.
don't know why. I'll have to add that one.
Yeah. Come on, empty the tank.
As It Was by Harry Styles is on this list too.
Yeah.
I like.
I like that.
I'm a stylinista.
Sing it, Kathy.
No.
I Want to Dance with Somebody from Whitney Houston.
Oh my God, yeah.
Sing it, Kathy.
Kidding me?
Come on, Kat.
I have so many. We went on a bachelorette party, and that was like became the song of the bachelorette party when we were in Nashville. So now there's like constant videos every time the song goes.
Oh, really?
Comes on. So
yeah.
we have a whole like shared album of like hundreds of videos of people dancing, people singing, like, that song everywhere.
Followed up was number 13 on this list, Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield.
I bet you I know it if I hear it, but I can't.
You can't hear it?
Kathy, just sing it for me.
No, I don't know it.
Can you play it on the spoons?
Do you have it on your phone?
What's the name again?
It's called Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield.
I
don't know that one.
By Rodney. I tell you, my boyfriend left me. I get no respect.
While you're looking that up,
I want to fly away like a bird.
number 14 is Free Fallin', Tom Petty.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Oh, this is Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. You know this one, Case?
Not right now, I don't.
Oh, yeah.
Ritz.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know this one. This is a good tune. I've never known the name of this song.
This sounds like Alanis Morissette, though, doesn't it?
Is this indicative of a lot of her stuff?
You'll recognize it when it progresses here. Here, turn up a little bit.
Before you open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you could not find. Reaching for something in
I think it's got a little Kelly Clarkson vibe.
Yeah.
I like it.
Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else
Oh,
can feel
I know this part.
You know this, right?
I love this. I actually do love this.
No one else can speak.
It's empowering.
Okay.
All right,
Like
so
it,
that's on there. Free Fallin', Tom Petty. Then Everybody Wants to Rule the World from Tears for Fears.
Oh,
one of the all-time greats. You Make My Dreams by Hall & Oates. Number 17 is Bubbly from Colby Calais.
Oh my God, Casey! I
Sing it, Kathy.
used to have like a weirdo workout list too, and that used to be on it.
This one?
Yes.
Is this on your? Is this your workout playlist?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Can you count me in?
Will you count me in?
Will you count me in?
I've been awake for a while now. You got me feeling like a child now.
She played a Beasley event that we had.
Did you?
Really?
Yeah, we weren't there. And
We weren't
apparently
invited.
she didn't play this song
Oh.
Yeah.
Why the hell come then?
because she's tired of it. Her biggest hit.
Well, we're tired of you.
Wow. Some people do that. They get
Here,
tired
talk
of
to
it.
Matt Calber.
Yeah. Here, this is Matt.
Matt.
Colby, this is Matt.
His pants are tight.
That song is sick.
This song is singing.
Okay.
Just chanting.
Preston, this next song.
Is for me?
No. The next, because I just looked at your list. I just want you to see that.
Oh, okay. So you want me to mention the next one?
Yeah, because I have that on my playlist.
Okay, so on your workout playlist?
It's called Just Chillin', which is essentially my
Just
workout
chillin'?
But
playlist.
you secretly use it as your...
What about you getting down list?
All right, so anyway,
Yeah.
it's Put Your Records On by Corinne Bailey Ray. I don't know
Play
that.
it.
By
Can you-
title, I don't know that.
birds sat on my window.
Oh, yeah.
And they told me I don't need to worry. Summer came like cinnamon, so sweet.
You gonna
Little
play
girls
it?
playing double dutch on the concrete. Yeah, put your... in my library. Here we go. This is it.
I think I know this song.
Yeah, I maxed out to this
yeah.
one. Yeah, I lifted 225 pounds 10 times.
Yeah, this is a great tune.
Are you highlighting that for your playlist?
I am. I think I already have it on my feel good playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some songs I just never remember the title of.
And I don't know the titles of a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good tune.
Maybe sometime.
Bring up the audio. Yeah, here, mix it in a little bit. So we can hear you and her together.
Okay.
Hang on. Go ahead, Case.
Here we go. The more they say the same,
you hesitate. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead and put your head down.
You think deadlifts and squats when you hear this song, Steve.
So who got you into this? Was one of your daughters?
No. No.
Gary Lauer?
Probably Gary Lauer. No, this song came out This song came out a long time ago. View credits. What time did this? This came out in 2006.
Wow.
And so when it came out, I don't know why. I heard about it. I have no clue why songs end up on my playlist or end up in my head. But
were you to hear this in a doctor's office, would you feel more relaxed?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Kyle, come in here and really sing for us.
Sing something for us, Kyle.
Dance for us, monkey.
We're destroying this.
Destroying every
We're
song.
destroying this frequency. We need an actual vocalist in here. Do you know that song at all, what he was just singing?
No.
Okay.
No.
Which one was
All
it?
right, well, there's one on here for sure. So next after that is Jesse's Girl.
Oh, you know that,
Rick
don't you?
Springfield, and that's a great song. But the last one is My Girl from The Temptations.
Oh, there you go. You toured with the Temptations.
Yeah.
They recorded on your album.
Record on my CD, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did a couple of performances. I didn't necessarily tour with them.
Okay.
Yeah, but
You just couldn't make the cut.
So
I'll pull that up on my.
Are we gonna have Kyle sing along with it?
Yeah. I mean.
Okay. You okay with that?
no, I'll sing an a cappella case.
Yeah.
If you want me to.
That's right, man. Do it.
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside.
We'll do the backup vocals. Go ahead.
I've got the month of May. Oh, yeah.
You guys ready?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, baby. I guess you say what can make me feel this way. Talking about my girl.
My girl.
Talking about my girl. Yeah, yeah.
That was good.
There you go.
We nailed it.
We found our calling. We're backup singers.
Yeah. No, we're back at the venue singers.
Yeah.
Oh, I need therapy.
Or just keep backing up, singers.
Yeah.
Back up further
back
away.
a little further.
Back up. Keep backing up.
I can still hear you. Back up further.
Back up.
Wings are over there. Curtains that way.
Let me see. What
I love
else.
you guys.
We love you.
Okay.
An analysis of over 76,000 tracks selected by Spotify users for their most chill public playlist revealed songs by folk pop artist Ed Sheeran. Perfect and Thinking Out Loud are sure to ease your mind. These are the world's 20 most relaxing songs to help soothe the soul. Songs by John Legend, and it says TikTok sensation Surf Mesa. And the contemplative UK rockers Coldplay also placed high on Spotify's listeners' rankings. But listen to this. It says, you may not recognize, I'm not sure, Kathy, Surf Mesa. You may not recognize the music streamer's most soothing artist. It goes to Bollywood film composer, instrumentalist, and singer Pritam. Pritam Chakraborty, I guess is how you say his last name. Of the top 150 highest scoring songs on the relaxing list, he had the largest body of work with 10 of the tracks in the top 150.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm not familiar.
Do you want to listen to any Surf Mesa? There's a song called Illy, which is stands for I Love You, baby.
Do you know them?
No, and I think it's a hymn.
It is a hymn.
It's
Okay.
a hymn? Okay, so,
Hit it.
all right.
Surf.
Oh, yeah. I love you.
Wait.
Yeah, this is a cover.
Yeah, it's a cover.
Yeah, this is the Jersey Boys.
Seasons.
Four Seasons initially did this, yeah. Which I love that song still.
So he's just mixing it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Is that it?
You may fast forward a little bit?
Yeah.
Come on, Kathy, do beatbox.
Yeah, he's an electronic musician from Seattle.
Okay.
So he's just mixing it. Apparently he does Frankie Valli's Can't Take My Eyes Off of You too.
This is that.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is
sorry,
that
sorry.
song.
Yeah.
Oh, but he calls it I Love You.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
All right, I can see this kind of just
moody,
just chilling out.
Yeah.
Just relaxing.
Getting a colonoscopy.
Yeah, because all these titles that I'm looking at are other people's songs. Like, for instance, this is Carried Away. You know that song?
I've been waiting for you with my open eyes.
Well, if he's mixing this, he's got somebody else singing it.
Well, so he gained fame from the "Can't Take My Eyes Off of You." Like that's where it's a sampled. He sampled a cover and mixed it, I guess.
Okay.
Well, you remember they're like primitive radio gods. You remember the waiting outside a phone booth and they sampled the great jazz blues musician B.B. King.
Yep.
Yeah, and so sometimes these artists will pop up and they'll sample something and they'll get a hit out of it. But
did that guy that we were just referencing? Did he change the title of the song?
Yes, that's why it was. Yeah. It's called ILY. I Love You.
But it is Can't Take My Eyes Off of You or Off You. I wonder if you can get away with like royalty issues if you change the title of the song.
They're so all over that stuff these days. I'd be hard pressed to believe if money hasn't exchanged hands yet, it's going to.
So there's a song that I love called Easy Love by Sigala, and it's the same thing. This is not her song, but here, I'll play it for you. Wait, I hit the... Yeah, I know. I'm so stupid. I hit the wrong button. Here we go.
What about it?
It's not her song.
Okay.
This is a Jackson 5.
So you got to get...
Yeah.
You'd have to get clearance for this. The other one is the exact Frankie Valli song.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the story is.
We need a lawyer.
Can I play a song for you guys? This is on my... I was just... Since we were doing this, I was looking through my feel-good list. Steve, you'll know this. Dude, Huey Lewis. I've got a soft spot in my heart for Huey Lewis in the news. And a lot of people don't realize they were actually kind of like a vocal a cappella doo-wop group.
Yeah.
Casey, can you turn this up, please?
Yes, sir.
This song called It's All Right. I love this song.
You guys, 4 bars of you. 1, 2, 1, 2.
You ever heard this, Case?
Mm-hmm. Ooh, yeah. They say it's all right. They say it's all right.
This is my colonoscopy song.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say it's all right. Have a good time. Cause it's all right. Oh, it's all right.
This is on the charts.
Yeah, I think it was like a pseudo hit. By the way, Casey should be in a doo-wop group.
Yeah,
like this.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Now, when I saw Huey Lewis in concert, they brought the one thing I remember about that concert. They brought out this contraption on a wheelbarrow. And I think it had something to do with that song because I think he was basically saying we had a little assistance on our harmonies. And so they wheeled out this contraption. I don't even, but it's such a weird, vague memory that I have of that concert that happened in 1985.
Yeah, I don't know what would be in a wheelbarrow.
No, I don't either.
I hope if somebody was at that show.
Yeah.
Maybe.
In 1985,
I was looking at.
If you were
at the Spectrum.
At the Spectrum.
Yes.
And you know the wheelbarrow contraption.
I have to be honest, we use a backhoe to get our harmonies.
I want to hear some of that Bollywood, though.
All right, I'll do that, and then we have to take a break. But let me find dude's name here, and I will. I'll see if I can pull that up real quick here for you.
I wonder if this guy has composed music for Bollywood movies.
Oh, he has.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It says
Did he
is.
do RR?
He did award-winning Bollywood film composer, instrumentalist, and singer. P-R-I-T.
Young thing.
And the song we were looking for, the number one song is, there's a whole bunch. Yeah, here we go. Kaya, no, that's not it. Tum Say Hi ranked the highest. So I guess I have to search that song. Hang on a second here. I'll get it for you. Tum Say, here it is. All right, Case.
Side along Kong Kong.
Side along Kong Kong. And here we go. Do you think that was really coming from it for a moment? Yeah, it's just considered soothing.
Yeah. It's instrumental.
Background music. Yeah, it's instrumental. So. Oh no,
Or not.
There's vocals. Is there any foreign language music that you guys like that you'll listen to, even though you have no idea what the
Salsa?
message is?
There is
Salsa,
a
yeah.
song.
I mean, I don't really know what they're saying.
Yeah.
There's a song from Kaleo that is sung completely in Icelandic, and I
Really?
sing in the whole thing with them.
You've learned the words?
Oh, I don't. I'm just saying the sounds.
Yeah, I know, but you don't know what you're saying. But you as like, it is too, it is too.
Yeah, you want to hear it?
Wow.
No, you don't want to hear it. I'll do it for you guys off the air.
Okay, do it off there.
There's that Volare song by that's like an opera. Andrea Bocelli.
I
sings
love
it.
that song. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Italian. I have no idea what the hell he's saying, but I'll sing along to that.
Do you know what I like Preston? I forget what the art form is called, but it is Pat Metheny uses it in a one of the great albums he's ever done called "Still Life Talking," and they're just vocalists vocalizing, like the Russian singer that we play.
Oh,
and it's but they're like. Ba-da-da-da. They're making jazz type sounds, but they're not lyrics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be scatting.
Scatting.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's different ways that you can do that.
Right.
Yeah, it takes a lot of talent to do that.
Steve, I just tweeted out the Silver Springs video that I was telling you about.
Okay.
Tag you in it. So if you want to take a look at it later, it's a pretty fascinating story about one of the greatest songs of all time.
All right, well, the number one song to listen to as you're waiting to go into the doctor or whatever your procedure getting done is Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, according to this particular playlist. So
they'll get you. First chorus.
ideas in there. Oh, most definitely. All right, we need to take a break. And you know what we need to do with all this chit-chat about good times and everything? We have an event coming up. It is called the Galentine's Day Party.
First ever.
And it is our sorority. We're doing the Zeta Eta Pi. We are headed to Rivers Casino, and I would like to take 3 callers of ladies who want to join us on the 13th, February 13th, 215-263-WMMR, 6 to 8 p.m., Jack's Bar and Grill inside the casino. And we'll get you a complimentary first drink and a happy hour buffet. And then we got some activities and prizes and things we're working on. But it's just a little gathering, a little get-together. So if you would like to do it, come on board. 215-263-WMMR. We'll take a break and come back with the B-Files. Stay with us. And then
WMMR.
All right, we're going to go through the bizarre file. And then after that, we have an announcement with some tickets to give away to.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by CSB Media Arts Center. Train for a career in broadcast media, web development, social media, marketing, and filmmaking at CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill. So visit GoCSB.com. That's GoCSB.com. A Texas motorcycle rider is wanted by the Colorado State Patrol after a recklessly fast trip up Interstate 25 in Colorado that he recorded and posted on YouTube. So he shared the evidence of his alleged crime on YouTube.
Yes.
And it's getting him busted. Rendon Dietzman, also known as Gixerbra. On YouTube.
Whoa, that's Gixerbra.
Shared footage of himself, listen to this, hurling down I-25 at speeds approaching 180 miles an hour. He can be seen, and I mean, not just for a little while either. He can be seen blasting past a car stopped on the shoulder and lane splitting like an action movie protagonist. Dietzman covered 55 miles from Colorado Springs to the southern portion of Denver in 20 minutes.
It's astonishing.
He went 55 miles in 20 minutes. The video has since been removed by the platform for violating its community guidelines after accumulating over 500,000 views. The Colorado State Patrol has a warrant for his arrest on multiple charges: menacing, engaging in a speed contest.
He could have absolutely killed, not to mention himself.
Reckless driving, reckless endangerment, speeding, engaging in exhibition of speed, and so on. There's a whole list of charges that he's facing. But yeah, he could have very easily not only killed himself, but another person is just going about their business, and he could have taken a life. So, they'd like to talk to him.
Yeah. Thank God these people are fairly narcissistic.
Yep. Well, had a bounty hunter simply paid a $150 registering fee and alerted authorities that he was crossing state lines to apprehend a fugitive, he probably would still be chasing people who skip bail. Instead, he's going to spend the next decade behind bars. A federal judge in Missouri sentenced 45-year-old Wayne D. Lozier Jr. to 10 years in prison after a jury convicted him of kidnapping and conspiracy to commit kidnapping. Lozier, a licensed bail bondsman in Louisiana, traveled to the St. Louis area to apprehend a woman who had missed a court date for misdemeanor charges. A bond company hired Lozier to retrieve the woman so it would not have to owe surety to the court. The problem was Lozier was not registered as a bond agent in Missouri, and in order to be registered, he had to pay a $150 filing fee, and he also had to alert local law enforcement of his presence, which he did not do. Prosecutors say his unlawful plan began a few days earlier when he called the victim impersonating a law enforcement officer. He told an arrest warrant could be recalled and a new court date could be scheduled. She just had to give him an address so he could send her the paperwork. He and his partner, Jody Sullivan, drove to where the woman was staying in Missouri. They barged into the victim's residence, hauled her away while she was barefoot and in her pajamas. A police officer with the local police department said that had alerted Lozier that he was acting unlawfully, but he ignored the warning and took the woman anyway.
That was the big mistake.
Yeah, Lozier physically and verbally abused the victim throughout their trip back to Louisiana. When the victim went to a convenience store clerk for help, Lozier allegedly tased her, pulled her by her hair, and bound her legs before taking her back to his car. The entire ordeal was captured on his body camera. And apparently he said to her, "You have no rights. I own you. No civil rights. Your property." Lozier allegedly continued,
let's use that.
Continued to threaten her, saying the next stop would be the hospital and she would never see her children again. Sullivan pleaded guilty, his partner, to conspiracy and kidnapping charges, and a judge sentenced her to 5 years probation. Wayne Lozier claimed that he was just doing his job as a bounty hunter, but a jury convicted him of kidnapping. And authorities said that they don't buy Lozier's argument that this was just a paperwork oversight. He's going to jail for 10 years
wow,
for that.
Man. I wonder if he'll end up in a jail where he actually got people.
Yeah, collared a few. Yeah,
collared a few.
So, looking to get even with someone who dumped you, there's an animal shelter that has a novel idea. They're in New Jersey, by the way, and it's a perfect idea for an ex. With Valentine's Day right around the corner, the Homeward Bound Pet Adoption Center announced that it is running a promotion for the holiday. For a $50 donation, you can name a feral cat after an ex, and then the feline will be spayed or neutered before being released back into the wild.
I love these concepts.
It's a good idea.
There's one where they will write your ex's name at the bottom of a cat box. And,
And then the cat goes.
cat carpet.
But this one, they'll cut its nuts off.
I think this one wins.
The shelter posted a flyer for their campaign on Instagram, including the line, "Because some things shouldn't breed." It's part of the center's initiative aimed at controlling the feral cat population through a neuter and release program. The shelter said that full names cannot be used. Only first names or nicknames for the neutered namesakes will be accepted.
Is there an amount you can donate to have your ex actually forcibly sterilized?
They could probably use the donation, so
Sure.
maybe there's some wiggle room there,
Yeah.
Steve. I'm not really sure. All right, and then finally, we'll end with this one. A Florida man stole the car of a Good Samaritan who pulled over to check on him after he wrecked his car, only to die in a crash moments later. A 35-year-old woman was driving when she spotted a GMC Sierra that had crashed into the traffic median. After she pulled over to investigate the wreck, the Sierra's driver, a 29-year-old man, arrived on foot and stole her car, Chevy HHR, leaving her stranded on the dark highway. The man took off westbound and then just 3 miles later lost control. He crossed the center median into oncoming traffic and collided head-on with a tractor trailer.
Oh, boy.
He was not wearing a seatbelt at the time of the collision and suffered fatal injuries. The tractor trailer driver sustained only minor injuries. The identity of the carjacker has not been released as of yet.
Karma was swift in this case.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And that is the end of the bizarre file for you, friend. All right, we have an announcement to make. Show coming to town. This is going to be Saturday, July 13th at Ovation Hall at Ocean Casino Resort. So not necessarily to town here.
Right.
But in Atlantic City.
Town-ish.
Ovation Hall at Ocean Casino Resort. And it's the return of the Impractical Jokers. Yep, it's called the Drive Tour. They're on that one, yes. And it's a 6 p.m. show, Saturday, July 13th, so an early show. There are 2 shows altogether, actually, and both shows go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. via oceanac.com. com. And so I'm not sure what time the other show starts, but nonetheless, we have tickets for the 6 o'clock show. And we'll take caller number 20 at 215-263-WMMR, and you will be good to go. So again, it's the Impractical Jokers, the Drive Tour, 6 p.m. Saturday, July 13th, and there are 2 shows at the Ovation Hall at Ocean Casino Resort. So give us a call right now. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll give away some more stuff. The lesson question, the trash, the music news, they're all on the way. Stay with us. Trying to coax a little bit of sunshine. It'll take more than some music, but nonetheless, we're looking at mainly clouds throughout the course of the day. Partly cloudy tomorrow. Or no, cloudy tomorrow, partly cloudy on Thursday, and then partly cloudy on Friday. But we don't see full-on sunshine till Saturday, from what I understand.
I definitely need some sun.
I know.
It's just something.
It's
a strong flashlight.
I'm hitting seasonal depression.
Yeah, I don't usually get it, but now I'm like,
yeah, we need a little sunlight, and we need them trees to get to work and get those leaves back on, but not before the Cardboard Classic. We need to wait until then, and that's going to be here before you know it. We're roughly a month away from that, because March 1st is when that's going to be.
Yes.
And you can, by the way, enter your sleds. Registration is now up and operating, so you can go to WMMR.com and take care of that now, that whole event. And it is a whole event. In fact, Mountain Fest at Montage is going on all weekend long, or at least Friday and Saturday. Collective Soul performing right there at the base where the sleds come down and end. That's where the stage is.
The layout is so cool because we walk from the lodge, right out onto the deck, and we have a view right of the run. And then again, Preston, as you just said, it's nary yards to where the stage, where the performances are. It's all right there.
Yeah, Kathy, remember, because you weren't there last year. You didn't get a chance to make it. And normally when we would leave the lounge and go to the hill, we had to take a snowcat, and it took a while. Literally, you turn around, you walk out a door, boom, we are right there for the whole thing.
It is the best.
Yep. So we're very excited for this year and hoping that you're going to be a part of it. And I want newbies. I want people who've never been out before to do this thing with us at Montage. We're excited for it. So today's lesson question, we are giving away a 4-pack of tickets that will be good for the Philadelphia Golf and Travel Show. And the question I think that we need to go with today is, what verb takes it one step beyond repair? 215-263 WMMR. What verb takes it one step beyond repair? 215-263 WMMR. If you know, we want to hear from you. We're going to do the trash while you call in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, brought to you this morning by CSB Media Arts Center. Train for a career in broadcast media, web development, social media marketing, and filmmaking at CSB Media Arts Center in Cherry Hill. Visit GoCSB.com. That's GoCSB.com. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Travis Kelce is opening up about how he and Taylor Swift are able to achieve some occasional anonymity. Kelce says the secret has been purchasing 2 pairs of Billy Bob teeth. Drew Barrymore announcing on the Drew Barrymore Show that her experiment with dating apps is over. The 48-year-old actress and host revealed the closest she got to finding anyone even remotely interesting was a man who claimed to have 3 testicles.
What? Oh, my God.
Stay away from that guy. And finally, General Hospital is celebrating its 60th anniversary this week. And now that much of the cast is in their 70s and 80s, ABC took the opportunity to unveil a spin-off series, General Hospital, Do Not Resuscitate. That's your holiday.
All righty, let's see if you do know this. What verb takes it one step beyond repair? And we'll go to Kevin, see if we can get that answer. Hi, Kev. Morning, bud.
Sayonara-kang-kang.
Sayonara-kang-kang. All right, what verb takes it one step beyond repair?
That would be repair.
Repair. Spot on, sir. Hang on. You get a 4-pack of tickets to Philadelphia Golf and Travel Show. It is this Friday through Sunday at the Philly Expo Center. You can get unbeatable deals on golf equipment and accessories. Visit PhiladelphiaGolfShow.com to get all of it.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Take the money. Take the money. Take the money.
All right, we'll start with the fact that Ace Frehley of Kiss has announced a rare in-store signing appearance to promote the release of his upcoming solo album, 10,000 Volts. On Instagram, he posted in all caps, "Meet me in New York City." The event takes place at Sam Hash Music on West 34th Street, February 24th. I saw a funny post on Instagram yesterday. It was Ace back in the day, in the height of Kiss's fame, and he was signing a woman in the bikini's stomach.
Right, yeah.
And the caption said, "Look, Ace is signing someone's grandma."
Yeah, it's true.
10,000 Volts will be released on February 23rd. About the album, Ace says, "I don't think there's any filler on this album. I think every song has merit to it."
All the fillers in his face.
Heart has announced their highly anticipated return to the road for their Royal Flush Tour. It's after 5 years of not touring. Ann and Nancy Wilson are going to embark on a North American and European tour. Kicks off April 20th. They will be in our area May 24th in Atlantic City at Hard Rock Live. Joining them on some of the shows on most of the dates, and I don't know if they'll both be in Atlantic City or not, but Cheap Trick and Squeeze
Wow.
will be on dates. So.
It's weird. I've seen Cheap Trick with Squeeze twice.
Oh, yeah?
They seem to tour a lot together.
Okay. Tickets are on sale this Friday, February 2nd, by the way. Train. We were just singing a couple of songs by them earlier. They and REO Speedwagon have announced a co-headlining tour. That's kind of an interesting pairing.
I'm so glad they keep on rolling.
Between them, they've sold 50 million albums, had 32 songs on Billboard's Hot 100 and 28 albums on Billboard's Hot 200 album charts.
That's a song I play at least once a week.
The 44-city tour kicks off on July 8th in Somerset, Wisconsin, and they will be headed to our area on July 26th, and they're going to be playing Freedom Mortgage Pavilion in Camden, New Jersey. Tickets will go on sale this Friday, February 2nd, by the way, as well. So there's a few different shows that have tickets going on sale this Friday. Yeah, you can't not love this song. It's great. It just gets you in a good mood. That's all there is to it. We got to hear the beginning of it here.
As soon as you are able, woman, I am weak.
So Train and REO Speedwagon together.
Dumb question. What does REO stand for or mean? Is that initials?
An REO Speedwagon is a car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Don't know what the REO stands for specifically.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it has to do with the car company that makes it. I believe I think that was the name of the company that made it. REO. Nick, I don't know if you want to try and find out the information.
Randy, Eugene, and Oscar.
Oh.
Randy, Eugene, and Oscar. Eugene,
yeah.
Wow. Don't hear that name very often.
REO Speedwagon, alternatively titled. Okay.
Eugene.
Okay. Any clarification on your side, Nick, as for what the REO stands for?
Not yet.
Right.
As an Italian car company? Yeah. Okay.
Margaretti.
Rigatoni.
Rio
Antonio Margariti.
Keep on the rolling.
All right, moving on. Chuck sent me this. What is it?
Ransom Eli Olds.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, we talked about this before because there's a connection to the Oldsmobile company as well.
Okay.
And so, anyway, who
Thank
cares?
you, Connor.
All right. And then I'm going to mention this. Chuck sent me this story. It's an interesting and tugs at the heartstrings quite a bit. A woman named Kat Janis is giving her 7-year-old son a special way to remember her. She's a 31-year-old Washington, D.C. singer. She was diagnosed with sarcoma, a rare malignant tumor, in 2021 and has endured a daunting battle since then. And just this month, she announced that her cancer has progressed, making it impossible for her to speak. And she is now home in hospice. She released a song called Dance You Out of My Head. It's a disco pop song with love undertones on streaming platforms on her birthday just a few days ago. And she learned that the track has now charted on iTunes at number 7 worldwide, made it to number 1 in Romania, Ireland, and the Czech Republic, and reached number 12 in the U.S. So here's the deal. Her son is 7 years old, and she has named him as the songwriter, and all of the royalties are going to go to him.
Holy hell, that's amazing.
Isn't it, though? She said she was in complete shock of the charting of this. The proceeds of the songs will go to her son for the future. The track has over 500,000 streams on Spotify. Following her diagnosis in 2021, she continued to make music and social media content while undergoing surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. In 2022, she was declared cancer-free. Lived nearly a year without the disease, but this past June, she shared that the cancer had returned to her lungs.
Effing cancer, man.
Earlier this month, she told her followers that the tumors basically tripled overnight. Before her cancer, she had won the Washington Area Music Award in the Best Rock Artist category in Washington, D.C. in 2019. Last year, she was a recipient of the Robert Allen Award from ASCAP. So she's a real deal musician.
Yeah. Oh,
we
man.
have some of the song?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard this at all. With Dance You Out of My Head, she wanted to make a song with fun lyrics that she said people can bounce around to. And in her Instagram post last week, she made sure to tell her followers that her song streams will go directly to her son, Lauren.
And I'm glowing like a million fireflies. A diamond don't glitter half as much as my body tonight. I catch a glimpse of your face in the neon. Suddenly begging, please set me free. I gotta hide. You wanna take me up, right? Wanna dance.
That's a nice little poppy song. Yep.
By playing, we just contributed, right? Wouldn't that have been the case?
I don't know. Maybe. She said that I don't know if I'll make it 4 days to the song release, but I can't appreciate y'all enough. So she's really,
it's an amazing story.
She's near the end, but she's what a wonderful idea.
Yeah,
what a wonderful idea. And now the story is taken off, and so there's going to be some money that goes to the kid. So that's fantastic. All right, and speaking of the kid, I want to mention this. My youngest, Caroline, and the Souderton Rock Band had a concert scheduled for this Friday, but the venue was double booked.
Oh, my God.
They have to move it.
Oh, my God.
So I did get some emails from people who wanted to go this coming Friday at Souderton Area High School. So I don't know when the rescheduled date is of yet, but I will let you know when that happens. So I appreciate the interest, but don't go on Friday, or else you'll end up at the Harleysville Eagles Football League event that's taking place, the banquet or whatever's happening. Yeah. All right. So with that, we have 2 of these left, and I'm going to give the final 2 away. The Great American Smokeout tomorrow. Dr. Rosenpenis.
Changing lives.
Yes. You hopefully giving it up for good. And we'll take callers number 16 and 17. Lifelong smoker, just a long-time smoker. Can't kick the habit, need some help. This could be what does it for you for good. We'll find out tomorrow, but you have to be available to be here tomorrow morning, by the way. 215-263-WMMR, callers 16 and 17. You get the last slots available. We'll take a break, get ready to wrap things up when we return.
Preston and Steve on 93.3.
Oh, my God. Wow. 93.3 WMMR, everything that rocks. Wolfgang Van Halen, Mammoth. Great song, another celebration of the end of the world. 10:47, the end of our program. What a day today. Busy day, full day, lots of cool stuff taking place and took place. We made an announcement, Impractical Joker show coming to town. We had 2 great interviews. Eli Roth, Thanksgiving is his movie. And it is now available on digital and Blu-ray and DVD and all that stuff.
Yeah, you're gonna if you dig classic slasher movies and then some, you're gonna love it.
And greenlit for sequel, so people liked it. So
you're gonna see these masks popping up.
Is available now, Thanksgiving. And then Paul Mecurio was on. Permission to Speak is the name of his show, Sellersville Theater. You might end up on stage with him at this whole thing. He just talks to the audience.
It's really intriguing.
And interviews the audience members. And he's a great guy and just very, very entertaining, very funny. You will enjoy it. Friday, February 2nd, this coming Friday at Sellersville Theater, 8 p.m. show. So make sure you do get your tickets. Let's see. Those are the thank yous. And I guess today's Tuesday, so we can give away our tattoo gift certificate. So we would like to congratulate Christina Arana. who lives in Pitts Grove, New Jersey. And Christina gets a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. And you can find them at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. Artwork samples, visit floatingworldtattoos.com, or you can check them out on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos. We need to do the letter of the day. Is that going to be you, Case?
Yeah,
All
buddy.
right, here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
Preston and Steve show is brought to you today by the letter
R as in Robert.
All right, and we will give away on Friday a $500 Joseph Anthony gift card. And the ultimate destination for all things beauty and wellness is closer than you might think. So treat yourself to a day of relaxation at Joseph Anthony in Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City, Philadelphia. We'll take a moment to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin'. And the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Tomorrow on our program, we'll listen to this. We had mentioned we're doing the Great American Smokeout.
Yes.
We'll go live on Fox Good Day. We'll have a secret text word, and Tom Segura
Not bad.
is going to be on our
Yeah.
show tomorrow. So it should be solid. And we'll find out what else we get into. That's it. We are done. Rage on. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.